Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Fall of Illidion. We're going to continue with our heroes as they journey back towards the city of Emberfall, north from Darandur after their victory over Vehemegor in his attempt to wipe out the Bladesong clan. Our heroes feasted with the king of Darandur, Togric's father, before they continued along with their journey. Showered with glory by the city, they were able to bring the dwarven tribes together. Togric, of course, he recovered the ancestral armor of his clan beneath caves below the city and was allowed to wear it and keep it as he left. They recovered a few other things, including a letter from the halls of Vehemegor. As they continue northward, we rejoin our heroes in the morning of the 11th of Leaffall. The 10th of Leaffall in the afternoon, as they continue onward along the road, having just awoken from a short rest. We're going to go ahead and bring everyone else over, and we'll get started. All right, guys. So, you find yourselves on the side of the road, having just broken camp from your early morning rest. It's mid-afternoon at this point, as your sleeping schedules are still off from your time spent below the city. Maybe about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You just had a very rather tense discussion with each other about Gerard's strange appearance after his disturbed sleep last night. But not wanting to talk about it and agreeing to address it when you reach Emberfall, you began to push on towards Chalmer's Ferry, where you would decide whether you were going to continue along the road or charter a boat back to the city of Emberfall. And that's where we rejoin you, gathering your things together and preparing to march north along the road. Come on, Lois, Torvin says, turning around to you. Let's not wait all day. We're wasting good daylight here.
I don't think we can move a whole lot faster, Torvin.
What?
As I gesture to the heavy armor that Gerard is wearing.
You guys can't move any faster.
One of these days, I'm just gonna let a troll eat you, Alistair. I swear.
I don't even think they can catch up with me.
Might improve his disposition.
And his smell.
Hey, Gerard, hop on.
Hop on what?
My bear.
Okay.
He just turns to you tersely. There's no emotion on his face, just okay, as he hops on the back of your bear.
Now he can move a little bit quicker.
Yes, but we're still waiting on Stunty Legs back there, as he points to you, Togric.
I move as fast as you, Torvin.
But the difference is, I'm in front.
Mm-hmm. Besides, there are some elderly with us. It's like kind of half-shoulder turn to Vythe.
He just kind of looks up from the book he had been reading and turns to you. Kind of looks at all of you and shakes his head and looks back down.
Honestly, though, I think we should go by boat once we get to Chalmer's Ferry.
I don't know how you can say that. Togric kind of turns back. I hate the water.
I absolutely love it. I spent a good portion of my life on the sea.
Sometimes I wonder who you came out of.
You get used to it after a while, I'm sure. Besides, there's something about a breeze off the water. Freshest air you'll ever get.
Well, I'll take your word for it. For my own ends, I prefer to keep my feet on land.
Suit yourself. Kind of shrug and go back to marching quietly here.
Okay. You guys continue to trudge northward along the road towards the city of Chalmer's Ferry. As the day slowly begins to pass, night falls along the road, leaving nothing but the illumination from your torches and spells to guide your path. Quickly, the temperature begins to drop as you see clouds roll in from the distance.
There's storms coming, guys. I can smell it. It's in the air.
You can, huh?
Yes.
What does a storm smell like exactly? Vythe kind of turns to you.
You know it when you smell it. It's got its own distinct
What a cop-out.
Descriptive.
Yeah. It's something you learn.
In all of your long years of study, huh?
Yeah, studying.
Mmm.
Some of us study in real life. Who's this guy again?
What'd you say?
This is
Who's
Vythe.
that guy
I was
again? What is he
kind of
doing
one
here?
of the only reason my father's alive.
We all know the reason your father's still alive. All right.
All life against the shadow.
Anyways, I think a storm's coming. I can smell it with my really good smelling. I know you dwarves can't exactly smell that great unless
As he says this, talking about his really good smelling, you hear the crack of rolling thunder off in the distance.
Told ya.
Careful with a storm, there comes rain. Wouldn't want you getting wet.
Well, it's not the exact water that's doing it. It's the big.
I believe the word you're looking for is cloud.
Of waters, like streams, and oceans, and lakes.
Othello might have been a great warrior, but he must have been a terrible teacher.
Talking about, I just predicted a storm. You tried saying I'm scared of water, which is technically true.
Not technically, literally.
Yes, but we're talking. You're trying to make me seem like I'm scared of the rain. Rain's natural. Rain's natural.
So's water, you idiots!
Man-made lakes and creeks and rivers. So it's all fluke.
It's all
So wait, let me think. So you think somebody went around, as Vythe kind of turns to you, and dug all the creeks and rivers?
Yeah, to control the people, definitely.
You're dumber than I thought.
Absolute freaking genius, this man.
He just kind of shakes his head and walks away. This one's a fucking idiot.
Told you I traveled with interesting characters.
You meant stupid.
It's a synonym. Same thing you use for Salome.
It's the same thing I use for you.
As I kind of look over the book that he's reading, does it happen to have a certain pen name on it that I told him not to read?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Looking for the author of his book that he's reading here. Just, out of curiosity.
So when you go to look over at his book, he's actually reading a work of fiction. It's a tale of romance from the age of antiquity.
I see you still haven't given up that fascination, huh, Vythe? Maybe
You have a
there is
problem
still
with
a
my
heart
book?
in there.
Is he just staring daggers at you? You got a problem with what I read?
No. Just think it's funny, given your
Given my
cheery demeanor.
Yeah, that's what I thought. As he just goes back to his book, as slowly drop, as it begins to rain.
Told you.
as he just puts his book away and kind of pulls up his hood as the drops quickly begin to speed up as it is now pouring.
Yep, we're back above ground in the free marches.
I almost missed being down under. Vythe looks around. Almost.
You do better in gloomy places anyway.
Well, Vythe just kind of pulls up his hood, and Togric will kind of look around and then pull up his as he begins to trudge on through the rain.
Yes, I do that. This is true.
All right, if
I
we're
meant
going,
Torvin.
I hold my hands up, and blue mist begins to come out. I'm using create water to make a bubble. For the,
So you're just
around the
constantly
bear.
streaming water around you to keep the other water out.
Yes.
That's actually genius.
Okay. Give me... I was trying to think what I would call for this. Give me a Knowledge Arcana.
Yep. $25.
25. All right. So as the water comes out and it's just kind of consistently, you're just kind of holding two fingers up, just as a bubble is holding over your head. Are you sitting on the back of the bear? Or are you walking alongside the bear?
I'm sitting on the bear. Gerard is behind me, sitting on the back of the bear.
Okay. So you're riding bitch with Gerard. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
like to call that captain.
So as the water comes up, it kind of creates this bubble around you, enveloping just the two of you in this aura. The water kind of begins to splash off of it, drenching the rest of you, but they are kept dry.
If it wasn't already soaked through the bone, I'd be pretty angry.
Honestly, I'm not even mad. That's genius.
Thank you.
Can't be mad.
So, Alistair, what level of water actually terrifies you? Like 2 inches? 3?
I mean,
4.5?
yeah, we're getting somewhere there.
Okay. So,
Knee high.
knee-high water terrifies you.
If I
So
can't-
about me tall. About me tall of water.
Now you guys are just saying stuff, and I'm just not going to talk until you guys let me answer questions, which you guys are being very rude by. And I believe, as royalty, you should be much more considerate, shouldn't you?
When was the last time you saw me actually act like royalty, Alistair?
Oh, you are in for it. We got to find the next town.
Wasn't it just yesterday when you were, sitting at the top of the, whole feast at the head pavilion, right at the right hand of the king? Torvin
So
kind of
sitting
turns
in a
back to
chair
you.
makes you royalty?
Well, you had the royal demeanor.
I was beard deep in mutton and meat.
Torvin just gives you a big wink.
I'm sorry you can't compete with my regal aura, Torvin.
Is that a comment about my hand as he holds up his, knife arm?
Dude, why are you talking about his
Honestly,
hand
I
like
think I
that?
prefer that one over the other, all things considered.
Fuck you. As he just kind of turns around.
Whatever.
As you-
We're the closest town.
About another day's journey north, you're waiting to... Oh, I'm sorry. In about a day, we should hit Chalmer's Ferry, Torvin says, right on the edges of the Ember flow.
Oh, we could do that. That works out perfectly.
As you guys are bantering back and forth, trapezing through the wood, and generally talking smack with each other, Gerard is the only one that's kind of sitting there quiet, not really participating. Give me a perception.
Who?
Gerard.
Could my bear roll a perception?
With disadvantage.
Yep.
19.
Okay.
Bears.
All right,
Alright.
12.
I guess it didn't matter. One difference. So, as everybody's kind of sitting here talking, Gerard, obviously lost in your own thoughts with your dream from last night. While everybody's kind of talking to each other and generally enjoying their company despite the rain, you hear a low moan. Almost just someone in pain from out in the woods to the west.
Shh. Shh. As I shush the rest of you. Listen.
Oh. So
What
what?
are you blathering about?
What are we listening to?
As all of you just hear, fuck! Mm.
That dude's either having a great time or he's in a lot of pain. Can't tell.
It's not really If it's bandits, you owe me 5 dragons. As I kind of turn towards the sound.
Dragons! Torvin says.
I know what I said.
Yeah, me too, as he walks along beside you.
I don't know who the hell's paying these dragons, but if I'm collecting, I'm grabbing.
All right. So then Kilroy, you go to a company as Torvin, Togric, and Kilroy begin to walk into the woods to the west. It's really wet at this point, and it's really muddy off of the road as you kind of make your way through the underbrush, maybe about a few hundred feet before eventually you kind of almost stumble upon a divot wherein you see a human there sitting. Obviously his horse has fallen and broken its leg, and he's trapped underneath. As you look upon him, he's wearing light chainmail with a long robe, which you can clearly see bears the insignia of the Guard of Emberfall. Who's there? Who's there?
Just
Show yourselves! As he's kind of pulled out his sword and he's...
You're kind of
Point
hardly
me-
in the position to make any demands, aren't you? Need a little help there?
Yes, that would be great. Your name?
Togric. This is Kilroy.
Thank you.
Howdy.
If you could just move the horse.
Sure.
That's-
Not a problem.
Uh,
As I kind of laugh at Kilroy for a second and drag the horse off of him here with a strength check.
Okay. As you come closer, the horse is kind of whinnying. At this point, it's terrified. You can see clearly, whereas you approach, the horse tripped and fell down into the bog, into this ravine.
Let me get that for you.
Yeah.
Getting closer, the animal starts to panic. I need a handle animal check first.
Okey dokey. Handle animal. Very, very bad at this skill. Alright, doesn't even matter. We're good.
So Kilroy kind of walks up and is gently like, there, calming down the animal, but while you both manage to pull the horse off as it kind of sits there in the dirt, as the man just kind of pulls himself back. Thank you. I must have gotten lost off the road on my way south in all this rain. Sorry. As he kind of pulls over, and you realize stuck into the mud is a messenger's bag, and he kind of pulls down and ties it to his waist.
Heading south. Where to?
Oh, Darandur, on the Duke's business. Do any of you have a steed I might borrow?
What does that asshole Alexander want now? We just left Darandur.
I'll help you out. I hold my hand out, and a portal begins to summon, and a mount comes through it.
You know that lasts for like, what, 6 minutes?
It's an hour, 7 hours. Hour per level. 7 hours.
What's the... My name's Togric Amethyst. We just left Darandur. What's...
Well,
I'm assuming you read the letter.
of course not. It's sealed.
And you sent one person to do it?
Yeah, I was one of several writers.
Addressed to a Torvin?
No, it's dressed to Torin.
Word travels fast, then. Well,
Ah.
that might buy you a few hours. It's the only mount we have available at the moment.
I guess it'll have to do. I was told to get this in the hands of the king or whoever's in charge there as soon as possible. If you can heal the beast, she's yours.
Gilroy, just heal him so we can then send him on his way.
Yep. And I point my finger gun at him and shoot him with a pink ray.
Okay.
Not him,
What spell are you casting?
The horse.
Oh, well, I'll shoot him.
As you go to heal him,
I'll
as
shoot him and the horse.
as his wounds kind of drop, begin to seal up as the blood shrinks away. All right, and then you go over to
minus that last 11. Sorry.
your pink ray hits the horse as his leg kind of jerks forward back into position as he just kind of tries to stand up, pulling himself up in the mud, but cannot. But his leg has been unbroken.
I lift this mud-covered beast as best I can here. Give it an edge to stand.
All right, give me another strength check, and Kilroy's helping you, so you can take advantage.
Okie dokie. Strength check. Alright, so that would be a 21.
All right, as you kind of right the horse, and he looks back. Thank you. You said your name was Tagric?
Yeah.
The name's Martin. As he kind of holds out his hand.
Pleased to meet you, Martin. And I
Nice to meet
shake
you
his
as well.
hand. Too bad he didn't give you more background on what the letter was about. We might have been able to save you a trip. The king is well
I
now.
mean, good. That's good to hear. It's not anything. I mean, I guess I can tell you. I mean, I can guess, but I mean, it's a request for grain, I'm sure. Food. It seems most of the food stores within Emberfall were wiped out, and I'm sure you heard about the attack.
Was there, actually. I can't believe you don't recognize our names.
As he kind of looks, I'm sorry. I was at Castle Alexandria. I was at the garrison there. The troops we got recalled after the attack. So
much for that Professor Emeritus title, Gilroy. It's like
Right.
shove your shoulder.
What's the point in having it if nobody knows me?
I'm sorry. I've never seen your faces before. I've spent the last 3 years assigned at Castle Alexandria, just replacing the messengers and the injured. But yeah, I'm sure it's a request for grain. He sent out riders every which direction. I know to, he sent them west to Norwek, down to Darandur, even to Heroes Rest.
Yeah, maybe the Vander Mercenary Company will have some to spare.
Well, that's the hope.
Alright then. Well, get on your way for your message and maybe get those horseshoes checked out. It's not often that a horse raised around here falls over like that.
Fair enough. Thank you, guys. As he just heads back towards the road.
Well, that was a waste of this horse.
Damn it, I'm out of 5 dragons. As I turn around and head back.
As Torvin kind of looks at you, he goes, I didn't see nothing. We defeated bandits.
Paladins in that hole, really hard to lie to them thing. I might leave the talking to you.
Hey, so I don't lie, but I'm not gonna just say anything, because if I say something, I'm gonna tell the truth.
That's 100% true.
It's fine. Nobody accepted the bet anyway, as he kind of turns and starts marching off.
And we'll follow him back to the group.
All right. Gerard and Alistair kind of sitting there in an awkward silence. Alistair, Gerard just kind of staring off into the distance in the rain. Vythe leaning against a tree quietly. Nobody talking. As your friends just walked off into the woods. You hear the soft footsteps in the mud as your friends return from the west.
Oh my god.
Oh, you both look so worried.
Well, to be fair, I'm sure you could have handled anything. And if not, I would have heard it probably. So, I mean, like, either way, it's a win-win for me.
Yeah, I suppose. And who knows, maybe there would have been 4 inches of water. Gerard, it's
Maybe.
pretty unlike you not to help someone. Even if it could have been the case.
Yeah, I'm not feeling very much myself today.
Emberfall can't come soon enough. Everyone ready to get moving again?
As you say this, look at about. Everybody, give me a perception check.
Alright.
Memento. Fourth fever.
19 for me.
Okay.
11.
So everybody except for Alistair, as you guys are sitting here talking with each other, getting ready to journey on, you realize that it's still, while it's still storming overhead, and you can see the clouds and you hear the thunder, you don't feel any of the raindrops as you realize that the air around you in the immediate vicinity, as you look up, the rain's kind of curving around you in maybe a 60-foot radius.
I mean, Kilroy must have gotten pretty
Detect
good.
magic.
Okay. So as you kind of cast the spell, your eyes light up with a yellow glare, and as you look around, you'll detect in the shrubbery surrounding the road the telltale signs of 1, 2, 3 different casters surrounding you, and who knows, accompanied by how many other people as a group of arrows stream past you from the brushes.
You ready?
Kilroy, does a 18 hit you?
Nope.
Okay. Alistair, does a 21 hit you?
I do believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Togric does a... That does not hit you. Gerard, does a 20 hit you?
No.
Okay. And for Bella, a 27.
Yes.
All right. As just boom, boom, boom. You guys are... both Bella and Alistair are hit with arrows, taking 5 for Alistair, and then 8 points of damage for Bella, as arrows fly off through you, and from both sides, left and right of the road. Togric and Gerard, as the arrows fly by, you're quite familiar with these, as they are the signature black tip arrows of the Orcish tribes that surround this area. Go and roll me initiative.
This counts as bandits, as I ready my hammer and my shield.
All right, let me go ahead and get this set up.
Boys, come on.
I am a dwarf. We are not the fastest.
Just that. 59. No, I unnecessarily got shot.
Thank you, by the way, for the ready fight, Big Brain Girl.
Big brain girl.
Yeah, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. You know, there's a whole other option you could do called help the aid a hero
No, this is more fun.
or extra loot.
Way more. Oh, yeah. Somebody give us some extra loot.
These are also good options. Or you could go all in and get a barbarian helmet here.
Fair. I feel like extra loot would be like an extra 5 gold. Because Lance religiously skeets us out of good stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a gentleman and a scholar.
I never said you weren't.
All right. Let's go ahead and get this. All right, Alistair, initiative.
My initiative, kind sir, is 23.
Bella, initiative.
Six.
All right, Gerard.
9.
Kilroy.
5.
Ooh, this is going to be fun. Togric.
7.
Ooh. And as you look out around yourselves, stepping out from the trees, you see these tall, massive orcs, their axes in their hands, just bashing against their shields. How, how, as more arrows begin to fly through the trees past you. So, Alistair, it is your turn. As you're looking about, all of a sudden surrounded by these orcs.
Don't.
I do believe there's a group of 3 down here.
As you look down there, the one in front is standing there with an axe in one hand and a shield in the other. Behind him, there's one with a bow. And then the other one is holding a staff. All right, go ahead. As you kind of turn around.
Here too.
They are. I just haven't added them on yet.
Boom, right there.
Gerard, you better put that shield to good use, as I've got my two-handed hammer.
So as you run past, you're going to take an attack of opportunity running past that one. Actually, you'll take 2 because you're running past the one with the staff as well.
That is completely fine.
All right. First one is a 25.
Yep, go ahead.
That's going to be 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And the second one is a 19.
No, that doesn't hit.
All right, as you kind of run past them, the one with the axe slicing into the back of your leg, as you just continue running, ignoring the pain, as now you're standing in between all 3.
That kind of hurt. So what we're going to do is... God, I've waited all day just to do this. I shall be doing Vital Strike and Vicious... no, it is Mighty Blow now.
Okay.
To the guy on the bottom, probably. Well, which one's the guy with... yeah.
So you have... swap dice! Okay. So I was using these nice metal ones. And I have these red metal ones. Okay. And so you said using Mighty Blow. So the one that you passed is the one with the axe and the shield. And then you have one next to you with the staff wearing long robes. And then the other one has just kind of holding back as you're up in his face as he's got an arrow pointed at you.
Oh, we're going to mess up that arrow, dude. We don't like him. 23 hit?
Oh, it for sure hits.
Bet. So that is 66. So I'll just add on another 13d6 real quick.
Just a couple of d6. Nothing big.
How's that going for that orc?
Give me just a second. All right, as you come down, dealing... All right, as you come slicing through him, you just cut out his armor just straight through as his guts begin to drop down onto the ground.
God, that makes me so happy. And I shall be taking 8 points of damage.
Okay, and as you slice through, the blood almost seems to follow down the line of your axe until it comes down, striking you in the chest as you begin to bleed as well.
So rude.
Great, he has yet another way to kill himself.
Oh man.
You didn't have enough before.
And then I shall be cleaving a the guy, the one on the right.
Okay, go ahead.
God, this just in my heart of heart brings me so much joy.
We're all very happy for you. That you have the method to do self-damage.
How's a 23 doing for him?
A 23? That barely hits as you come through, just slicing over his shield into his heavy plate.
35 damage. And
Okay.
slash R 1d6. 40.
All right.
And then I got one more attack. So we'll this guy on the left, he's the one with the arrow, right?
No, you already killed the one with the arrow.
I thought there were two arrow
No,
boys.
there's one guy with the staff and there's one guy with an arrow.
Ah.
As he's just standing there, kind of as he walks, you just walk up and eviscerate his friend, and then this like weird magical blood comes down and shocks you. You smack the heavy one who's still standing, looking quite hardy at you. The one with the staff is just kind of stepping away as green magic begins to flicker at his fingertips.
Alright, so as I rip out my axe that's embedded in the armor of the axe boy, I'm basically going to do a 180 backhand and attack the one with the staff. Almost like a 180, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we're going to take 5 off this roll. I assume that 11 does not hit.
All right, as you come around, the orc kind of pulls back, shielding himself with this blue light that deflects your axe, as he just kind of grimaces, trying to deflect your blade.
Gosh darn it. Shall end my turn.
Okay. As we're coming around, it's now the orc's turn, as you just hear, "Ha! Kill them all!" As they begin to charge into combat. First, a flurry of arrows comes in, as it's going to be, let's see, one attack. We'll do 2 attacks for Kilroy. 10 is a miss, Kilroy, I assume?
Yeah.
And then 17.
Miss.
All right. As then we're going to have 1 attack for Torvin, 1 attack for Vythe. Wow, these dice are garbage. As it come around, both will miss, and then the last one will be a arrow attack on Gerard. 19.
Nope.
All right, it's just as arrows begin to fly through you from each direction. Orcs charge in. One straight at Togric, the other one straight at Gerard. 17 is a miss against you, Gerard, right?
Correct.
And 27.
That is a
Togric.
hit without my tower shield, yes.
All right, as he
Oh,
just
wait.
comes...
Shield.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it doesn't work.
Wait, what?
I use shields.
Okay, as he charges in, you kind of raise your hand quickly as this arcane barrier of violet light kind of appears as he just smashes into it with his axe. At this point, 2 more orcs kind of appear out from in between the shadows. One of them to the east holds up his hand and points it in your direction, Togric, as your shield disappears.
It's alright, it did what I needed it to.
As the one from the left holds out his hands, this flame appears in each one as he just throws out 2 bursts of flame, one at Togric and then one at let's do Gerard.
I want my shield back.
19 for touch AC. That's for you, Togric.
Just barely.
And then 20 for touch AC, Gerard.
For sure.
Okay. That's going to be 16 points of damage for you, Togric. And then 14 points of damage for you, Gerard. As just bursts of lightning just come into you from either side, singeing your armor. Alistair, the one in front of you, just as he's kind of blocked your armor, lightning begins to crackle from his hand as he's just going to reach in and try to melee touch attack you. Right there. So, you can take an attack of opportunity.
Okay. I shall do that then. Let's see.
All right. As you come forward once again, you miss off the edge of his shield as he strikes you right in your chest. 20 hit your touch AC?
Yeah, that sure does.
All right. As you become electrified with the energy. That's going to be 25 points of damage.
This is not going like I expected it to.
As he's just going to strike into you with that, and then just kind of screaming in your face is like, he's got his hand in your chest as you're being shocked. Is he's kind of orcish drool coming down his beard. He's just ah!
This is not how I expected it to go. But
as is Torvin's turn, as he kind of turns, standing next to you, Togric, with his dagger in one hand and his missing arm from the elbow up in just the form of a blade in the other, as he just double strikes out at this orc that's attacking you. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. And his dagger misses.
Yikes.
That's 7 damage on the first hit, 12 on the second, and 8 on the third. All right. As it is Vith's turn, as he kind of looks around for a moment, and he brings his hands together with a quick clasp as there's a puff of smoke, and he disappears. Gerard, it is your turn, as there's this orc, almost 6 inches taller than you, towering over you with this axe in one hand, blood running down it, his shield in his other.
I smite.
Okay.
As is the paladin's way.
Right.
Go ahead and describe your smite.
Once again, my flail and the now borrowed tower shield from Togric begins to glow white as I use the second level of smite on this big son of a gun.
Do it.
I'm going to roll him this way.
Okay.
And whenever you changed him, I still adding my charisma.
Yes, you are still adding your charisma to hit. So that's
All right,
a 25, I believe.
24.
24. All right, as you come around, this shield you borrowed from Togric, for probably the first time ever, glows with the divine light as you channel through it, smashing into the orc. And then with your flail wrapping around and smacking him in the back of the head. Roll your damage.
Ruining a perfectly good Togric shield with that disgusting smite.
You gave it to him, lad, Torvin says.
Yeah, still.
All right. So we're talking 21 points of damage on the first hit. And 19 points of damage on the second hit. As you just come into it, just boom, boom, as he looks dazed for a moment before kind of righting himself. His eye is still a little cross-eyed. Is that your turn, Gerard?
That's the end of my turn.
All right, Togric, it's your turn.
So I kind of look over my shoulder and see once again Alistair's in danger. And I'm going to go ahead and risk the attack of opportunity here to get to this fellow.
Okay.
And bring down a charged Shadow Strike, Vital Strike here.
Okay. As you kind of run up to him, along your weapon, just this black flame rippling across it as you just bellow out a savage war cry as you charge towards him.
Right, let's see. And a 17 hit?
As you come down, the orc, kind of looking for a second out of the corner of his eye, he sees you, makes a quick sidestep turn as he blocks your attack with his shield.
Would a 19 have hit? He's flanked.
Fair point. That would be advantage, actually.
Yeah, so you get advantage, so reroll that.
All right. 30.
So as you come around, he blocks your first attack with that, but you just kind of quickly turn, deflecting his shield to the side and slamming into his shoulder.
Alright, for 35 points of damage.
At this point, this one that Alistair had already struck is just overwhelmed with these flames as they almost ripple through his body, coming out of his mouth as he just screams and falls to the ground.
You always get so in over your head, Alistair.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm doing perfectly fine.
There's this indiscriminate rage on Togger's face for just a second, and then passive.
Alistair is fine until he is dead. And then it is not fine.
Is that it for you, Togric?
Yeah, that's everything I have.
All right, Bella, it's your turn. Kilroy's on deck.
I had to move my stubby legs.
The bear is going to grapple the enemy right next to Torvin.
Okay. So go ahead and give me that grapple check.
Ooh, 25.
All right. As your bear comes over, trying to grapple the orc just kind of pushes the bear away for a moment, getting really low and using his leverage to push the bear up as she kind of almost falls back on her butt.
Dude, that's some king stuff right there. This has never happened before.
The bear is going to roar and intimidation.
Confused faces?
It is.
Give me your best bear roar. If you give me your best bear roar, maybe I'll give you advantage.
Oh, man.
God bless.
All right, you can have advantage. I'll give it to you.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
I tried.
All right, and as you come in, Bella comes in, just roar, the orc turns back. He's like, "Rah!"
It did not work, apparently.
Kilroy, it is your turn.
So, swift action, cast Infestation at the orc that my bear just tried to grapple. It's a fortitude save.
Okay, and as his feet around him are ringed with this orange light, as tiny scarabs come out of the ground and begin crawling all over the orc, as he just trying to brush them away. He will fail, surprisingly.
6 damage.
All right, as he just get them off, get them off, get them off.
I'm going to fly 10 feet up and then hit Gerard, Togric, and Alistair with beams of light.
Okay. As purple rays just exude from your fingertips as they are all healed for 10 points of damage.
That's my heal.
Except for Togric, whose infernal nature resisted and is only healed for 5. Is that it for your turn, Kilroy?
Yep, that's all for me.
All right, Alistair, you are up. As the only one left is the one that just screamed in your face as he tried to electrify you.
That was not very nice of him. I'm gonna kill him. Absolutely infuriated that he keeps dodging / blocking all this. Mighty blow. Oh.
Okay. As you just turn to him with this look of disgust, as you bring your axe just out of the flesh of the one you just hit, wrapping it around and just swing as you slice up through his neck. Roll damage. All right. As you bring it up through, you slice straight through his skull, just bringing the axe up, just thunk as it just brings it right through, blood squirting everywhere over you and Togric.
Ooh. Sorry, Togric. Also, 1d6.
As once again, the blood that hits you from the weapon almost seems to burn your fur as it just seeps down.
Yes, this shall do. This is how we play now. This is part of life now. See, I still have movement.
Togric, you see this, by the way, for the first time. You can see the smoke coming off of his face where the blood hit.
Yeah,
In
I
the
saw it briefly
absolute
earlier. You found yet another way to kill yourself.
The
It's
look
great.
of absolute joy that I get out of this. I still have movement and a second attack. Let me think here. And swift attack. Wolfang technique as I get into more of an animalistic stance and embrace the animal inside me, and I move with my heel. These men are now 5-footed.
As you kind of run up on them, both of them, having prepared with their bow. Is that your turn?
I still get a second attack.
So you can't, unless you have the feat, you can't attack, move, attack.
That makes me sick. But
as you run up on them, they'll release their arrows as they're both just kind of watch you just eviscerate this man, panicked as you're charging at them, causing them to wildly miss as both of them just go off as they're just so terrified by your charge.
hey, how you guys doing?
The one over to the side. Go ahead.
Since they attacked me, would that enforce an attack of op?
Yeah, you can go ahead and take one.
I'm gonna do the guy on the left.
Okay.
Actually works out better for me. 20.
That will hit.
Flat-footed. Or 28 damage.
As you come in, they both of them release their arrows as they just veer off wildly. One, maybe chinks off your armor. As you come forward, just bring down your axe and smash him into his side. As more arrows begin to fly out, one veering wildly past you, Gerard, and then another one smacking Bella with a. Does a 22 hit Bella?
No.
All right, almost smacking into Bella before she deflects it with her claws. At this point, kind of both in your faces, this one just, die, filthy human, as he's just going to smack into you, Gerard, with his axe. You easily deflect it with your shield, throwing him off. As The other one will bring down his axe, striking Bella with a critical hit for 19 points of damage.
Dude.
Eat.
Okay. Smashing down into Bella. The other ones will kind of stand back, both of them raising up their hands as one of them throws two bolts of fire. One of them is going to try to hit Alistair.
Rude.
Does a 25 hit your touch AC?
Mine?
Yeah.
I thought these guys had arrows.
They're the two mages.
Oh. Yeah. That'll touch. Oh, that was a lot.
That was a lot of dice.
Yeah, it's going to be 21 points of damage.
As Alistair falls unconscious.
As he just gets smote in the back with flames, falling to the ground. As this one up here at the top right kind of stands back, pulling up his hands as he begins to chant, as a fireball comes down from the ground. I'm going to need Kilroy, Bella, Gerard, and Torvin to give me reflex saves.
I am 10 feet in the air.
That doesn't stop it from coming straight up, my son.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Am I also in the radius, or
Reflex saves.
is this man?
Yes,
good enough
you
to
are.
aim? All right, that's the problem.
Now,
I should have
Lance,
said nothing.
is based off my ability modifier, correct?
What'd you say?
That is based off my ability modifier, correct?
It's negative your constitution score.
So ability mod. Or just my true score.
Your score, not the mod.
Okay. I shall get them for a while.
16.
All right, so let's see. That is a fail from Togric. That is a fail from Gerard.
It's a 16, not a 14.
This
if
is
that
6.
helps.
This is 16. Yes, that is the difference between a pass and a fail.
All right, cool.
So you'll take half damage. Is that Bella or is that which? Okay, Bella's the 12, right?
12. Yep.
Okay, so everyone. So let's see. Togric will pass. Kilroy will pass. Everybody again. Torvin will pass. So Gerard, you take full, and then Bella takes full. And then I need 2 more. It's going to be 20 points of damage full. Halved is 10 to everyone.
I don't typically like to break character, but Big Brain Girl, really appreciate you coming to the stream and everything, but maybe don't! TPK'd on a random encounter.
I love it. I love it. Coming around as he just kind of smirks at you. You die here. As it's Torvin's turn, as he kind of looks about, well, that's enough of that shit, and does a forward roll, jumping. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Jumping behind this orc, coming around and then stabbing him in the back. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a miss. So he'll miss on his last hit and the dagger hit, but he'll hit on both, taking both his first 2 attacks, taking sneak attack damage on both of them. So that attack does 17 points of damage. The second one does 13, as he just drops this one right here. As all of you guys are looking around, Fythe had seemingly disappeared. Out of the sight of anyone but you, Togric, you see to the west this lone mage standing in the corner, as all of a sudden shadows begin to appear around him, as just little daggers all of a sudden appear in the shadows. They just begin slicing the mage to shreds. Seemingly just summoned out of the shadows, he just begins bleeding all over as he just screams, gurgling on his old blood as he falls to the ground. as Vythe will appear right there. Gerard, it is your turn.
One actually terrifying character.
Well, I
And,
can't
Tyler,
kill him
you're on
with
deck,
a
by the way. Go ahead.
level 2 smite. Let's try a level 3 smite.
Oof.
Doesn't work the first time, just go bigger, huh?
By the way, Alistair, take that exhaustion.
Yeah,
I'm sure you know by this
I
point.
already got it on my notes. Don't you worry.
All right. Coming into him with your first attack, smacking out with your shield. Oh, is that including your charisma?
Yes.
Okay, you'll miss as he just kind of dodges the blow. He kind of grunts back at you. I'm not falling for that again, human.
Crit.
All right. As he kind of utters this at you, as you just kind of bring down, as he's kind of smirking, you bring down your flail, smashing it into his skull. Roll your damage. All right. As you come down, your flail smashes into him as the end just kind of splits his helm as brain matter goes everywhere.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right, Togric, you're up. Bella's on deck.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and try to... two things. Get out of AoE of mages and go make sure I can murder archers so they stop shooting at us here.
Okay.
Let's see. So I can get to right here. So I'm going to go ahead and Timuroth's Hunger here. So if they could give me a save. And I'm going to go ahead and use Malevolence. So it takes off my Shadow Corruption. But the DC is one higher than normal.
All right. As both of them will fail as these dark maws come out of the ground surrounding you, just napping at their feet as there's... Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Alright, sweet. So they will take 15 points of damage, and I will heal for 16.
As the one that Alistair had hit previously is kind of just quickly bit by them as he just is pulled down into the deep violet maw that's opened up beneath him until he disappears, leaving the one next to him just quaking with fear. Like, where'd he go? What happened to him?
You're next. So I'm going to go ahead and roll an Intimidate here. Nah, he's very not afraid.
He's just,
My critical failure.
the hell I am! Is that your turn, Tiger?
Yep.
Bella, you are up. Kilroy's on deck.
Alright, so what is going on here? There we go. Bella is gonna go this way. And grapple the mate.
All right.
Where is it? 24.
All right. As Bella just kind of brings her pincers down around the mage's neck, wrapping him with her arms as she pulls him down to the ground.
And she's going to roar in his face and roll intimidation.
And give him disadvantage because he's currently grappled.
17.
As he just seems to quake as your bears into his face as he quakes for a second, trying to escape.
That is the end of Bella's turn.
Okay. Kilroy, you're up, and Alistair's on deck.
All
Yep.
right. I fly another 10 feet into the air and 5 feet over. And
Okay.
I've never had to do this before. And I shoot Alistair with a second beam of light, Gerard with a second beam of light, and then hit my bear with one.
Okay.
So everybody take 22, or Alistair and Gerard take 22. Togric take 6. And then my takes 5. Or 10, sorry.
All right. Does that pop you up, Alistair?
Oh yeah.
All right. As we come around to your turn, enemies on deck, you open your eyes as you see, once again, familiar sight, Togric standing over you. Behind you as there's an orc with a bow pointed at him in front of you.
Oh,
Aren't you
good to see you.
getting sick of being saved by now?
No, it's more of a sick rush at this point. As I go to stand up, and I guess when I stand up I can't attack, so that should end my turn.
How many levels of exhaustion do you have?
After the full rest, this is my first level.
Well, remember, so an 8-hour rest doesn't cure it. It needs to be a 24-hour rest.
He's had 1 day of travel to clear it, so I think he's at 2 now.
He has to be resting. He cannot be traveling. He has to be resting.
Even
Then
that
he's at
off day, with that off day of we
you
didn't
were-
have an off day. We basically had that party and we dipped that night, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
That would put me at 2 then.
Okay.
What's that do?
Pretty sure
me
at this
double
point
check
it's
here.
attack and damage rolls a disadvantage.
Yeah, you have disadvantage on ability checks, which does include initiative, and your speed is halved.
Well, he
I'm
still moves
still
at the speed of a normal man. God.
Yeah, you're still fast as shit.
So,
But that's
I
what
guess
you have right now.
that's fine.
As you stand up, he doesn't have a melee weapon in his hand, so you don't take an attack of that.
I can't attack when I stand up, can I? I don't think
No.
so. No, I didn't. I
You
didn't
get
think
up
that's
and
how
you
it was.
stand up.
Yeah, I stand up, and actually,
Go ahead.
no, I won't even have full movement. Never mind. I guess that's all I can do is stand up.
All right. It's the enemy's turn. You hear one of the orcs out, "Fuck this shit, it's not worth it, retreat!" As the orcs begin to fall back into the woods.
This one might die. Let's find out.
Take an attack of opportunity against the one that's within your range. Togric, do you have a 10-foot range?
Not. Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Well, I thought I would ask.
Fair enough.
18 hit.
Yeah, your
On.
first attack hits.
Sweet.
Oh, you only get one attack of opportunity. Oh, I guess you have advantage right now. My bad.
I got disadvantage.
Okay.
Net neutral.
35 damage.
All right. As you come slicing into him, as he's trying to flee, as you just drop him, as he slowly stutters away, leaving only the orc that is within Bella's grasp. Is Bella gonna kill him?
It's munchity crunchity time.
Yum, yum, yum,
All
yum.
right. As she
28
just
damage.
bears down with her teeth into his shoulder, just pulling out bits of flesh and sinew, just ripping into him. As you guys, the air is rent with this orc's ear-splitting scream as he tries to cast spells, as bits of fire and lightning, even some acid spew out from his hands as Bella's fur is kind of burnt and torn, but she just continues to tear into him until slowly the screams fade away, and he dies.
Good girl. Now bring his body over here.
She brings back his body, just almost like a cat with a mouse, looking back at you.
All right.
you-
And I'm gonna dig through his pockets.
Okay.
Interesting.
So you guys are gonna loot these orcs.
See.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and heal up. Let me go. I got a Hello Kitty, so let me go grab a cat. And you guys do a little bit of role playing. I'll be right back.
Sick rush, huh, Alistair? Not just crushing disappointment, but it seems to be every engagement we get in these days you collapse. At least once.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm doing so much, it's almost worth it at this point.
Getting sick of always having to come after you.
I drop bodies, and then I drop. Shit, it's fun, alright? Like a drug.
One day you're
Tyler-
not going to get back up. And there won't be
And
a
then-
chance for a learning opportunity. You'll just be dead.
And on that date, I'll see my father, so in my eyes, it's a win. It's a win.
If you've got a death
Either
wish,
way.
don't try to drag the rest of us with you.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. You're all full healed. Like,
yeah, we're good. We're Gucci.
This is Dean again. Dean says hi. He's very sleepy.
Probably fairly
All right.
annoyed at getting woke up to get dragged around.
He's very annoyed with me right now, but it's fine. He likes a good belly rub. All right, so you guys are looting the bodies. As you go to search the corpses of the orcs, you'll find a combined 117 drakes, 3 dragons, and 412 worms.
Pretty successful bandits. Granted, an age with fireball would do that, I suppose.
Yeah, as you're searching the heavily armored orcs, while their gear reeks of orc, clearly wild tribal ones, each one has a pretty stout breastplate of fairly decent make, actually, even for orc make. Each one has a war axe, one-handed, of pretty good build. A targe shield, and a short sword at their side. So that would be 3 of those. 3 breastplates, 3 short swords, 3 war axes. Or are you guys taking all this? Or are you guys leaving behind the
I'm
random
taking it.
Okay. As you look about at the archers, they are all wielding short bows. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 short bows. You don't. 6 short bows, about 108 arrows left.
I'll take those arrows.
They each have a short sword at their side, so that's another 6 short swords. And that's it for them. On the casters, they're wearing... 2 of them are wearing very long, plain brown robes, smelling a bit of rotten flesh and mead. By Dean. They're not very well taken care of, but clearly they, obviously, their users had some power. With 2 long, gnarled staffs, one for either orc, kind of just gnarled to a hilt. While the third one, the one that Bella tore apart, was wearing these much nicer, for orcs, they're still not a particularly good make, but these nicer blue robes with kind of some embroidering on the side. Maybe at one point you think, based on some of the work, they might have belonged to a priest, but were taken as a loot. Embossed sigils on the bottom. And then the staff is made of a much nicer ash bark that comes up to a little wooden flame at the top.
I will take the staff and cast Identify. Hold my hand over it with a yellow glow.
This is a staff of fireballs that has 8 remaining charges.
Ho ho.
Yeah, that would do it.
There,
What was that, Alistair?
that'll do her.
Now, are those swift actions or standard actions?
It is a standard action to cast a spell.
Okay.
To use the item.
I assume you're keeping that, Kilroy.
Yeet.
So as you guys look around, the area around you, it's still raining now, because at this point, all of a sudden you realize as soon as the last mage dropped, it started to rain here again, as they had obscured the weather from the area in order to allow their arrows to travel better. As the rain begins to hit you again, it's muddy, you still hear the crack of lightning, bodies littering the area. This is where we're going to take our midpoint break. We're going to take a quick, we'll say 13, and take it to the top of the hour. So we are stepping away now. It is 8:47 Central, and we will be back in 13 minutes at 9 Central. Glad to have you guys with us. All right, everyone, and we're back. Thank you for rejoining us on our episode 27 of The Fall of Illidion. We're going to continue on with our heroes on their return journey from Darandur to Emberfall, as they've just slayed this group of orcs that had ambushed them on the road to Chalmer's Ferry. If you're interested in our map of the free marches, you can find it in the links down below. You'll also find a map of Iskar, which is where our upcoming game, starting next week on Wednesday at 8:30. It'll be at 8:30 Central on Wednesdays will be played. You can catch us from Session 1 next week. You'll find character sheets for that game listed below if you want to take a peek. And our goal is by next Monday to have character sheets for this game up. So, very happy to have you all with us. I want to shout out to Halo, who in the chat just gifted us 5 subs. That's freaking amazing, man. We definitely appreciate it, and we appreciate the support for our channel, man. That's nuts. Thank you. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue on. You guys have just finished looting these orcs. Their bodies in various states of dismemberment and decay litter the roads surrounding you. You've gathered up their worthwhile items and wealth and are gathering together. Alistair having recovered from his wounds, Kilroy having healed him, and are ready to continue on through sludging through the rain and the mud.
Pretty sloppy.
All right. Are we gonna keep going?
I mean, Alistair looks pretty hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty sloppy. I mean, I'm not hurt, tired. Hurt.
We could
I'm not hurt, tired.
probably take time to rest.
Do it in town.
Didn't we just wake up? Didn't we just sleep a few hours ago? You Nancys are already ready to sleep again? Torvin says. We just woke up not 5 hours ago.
I was on watch all night. I am ready to sleep.
I do. Some of us.
Togrick? Tell them.
It's pretty
But I can
unnecessary
sleep while
to
we
rest
move.
at this point. Alistair, can you tough it out for a few hours at the very least?
Literally, I'm not the one saying it. Let's get to a town.
Kilroy, take a nap on Bella.
That's the plan.
Perfect.
So, you do have about another day's worth of travel in order to hit Chalmer's Ferry.
Okay.
There aren't a lot of towns in this Dwarfen Vale. Chalmer's Ferry is really the first settlement they've created outside of Darandur, and they're now about 18 years since they've refound the hold. They're
Besides,
more focused on their capital at the moment.
I'm still opting for the boat trip, and if you do that, you can sleep all you like.
Obviously, the boat.
Besides, I'd rather not deal with any more orc bandits, or whatever that was.
Yeah, well, we might have been able to ask them if the bear hadn't ripped into the last one, as he gives you the eye, Kilroy.
That's horrible.
Oh well, we've dealt with worse.
Alright, sounds like we're going. So let's go.
All right. As you guys proceed, marching along the road, the night passes pretty uneventfully as it continues to rain throughout the night, getting rather heavy at about the mid-morning time before eventually dying down to a low trickle as dawn breaks about 7 o'clock in the morning. Kilroy, you sleeping on Bella's back, your sleep was rather fitful. Not being able to rest quite well, or at all, really, sleeping on the back of your bear while marching through the rain. So we're going to say you're pretty tired this morning. You're not feeling quite rested. Is maybe you go to sleep and then you sleep for 8 hours and then you feel like you just slept one. That's how you feel right now.
Well, I'll take it.
Okay. All right. As the sun begins to peek over the horizon, the clouds have kind of parted a little bit. It's still sprinkling, but it's nowhere near the raging thunderstorm you had overnight.
Well, at least the rain's drying out a little. For a day, maybe, at most.
I could go for another nap.
Well, it's not raining quite as hard. Maybe you can sleep on Bella again.
It'll make time go by faster for you, too.
Wake me up when we'll stop and I'll take over. I pass back out.
How long is he going to sleep?
That makes it for as long as he feels like.
Yeah. Kilroy's a bit of a, always tired bird. So, do with that what you will, I guess.
All right. So at this point, the dawn is breaking, and it's still sprinkling, like I said, but the clouds are starting to part. Are you guys going to continue on marching? If you keep marching, you'll hit Chalmer's Ferry, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But it has been 24 hours since most of you slept, so it depends on what you guys want to do.
I say we tough it out to get a solid roof over our head, but...
Yeah, kind of like a good area to stop, recover, and all that fun stuff.
I would really like to sleep now before we get into city walls. As I shoot a nice shot at Togric.
You know what, that's fine. I was feeling rather tired myself. Life?
You guys can lay down if you want. I'll keep watch.
Fine by me. As I kind of give a long stare at Vife and see if his eyes are moving towards Gerard or anything like that.
He just kind of walks over to the edge of the road as you guys all get off the road in order to make camp and climbs up to the lowest branch of a tree where he can overlook the entire group.
Good enough for me. As I pull out my my bedroll and a lean-to.
Oh, no. As Torvin quickly pulls out his big-ass tent and just goes setting it up. He says, I'm not getting wet tonight. I've been wet all day. I'm not getting wet again.
As I gesture to the lean-to. Yeah, that's... Sure.
But you still got an undercurrent there. You can't close the tent. And what if the wind and the rain changes direction? That's not good enough.
Good enough for me. Besides, last time I shared a tent with you, you gassed me out all night, so...
Fuck you. He just kind of... Fuck you.
And I set up my lean-to here.
I just take off my armor, and I lay up against the tree and fall asleep with the rain still pouring in my face.
Okay. Kilroy, as you're sleeping on your bear, Bella kind of moves you as she kind of goes to lay down to like underneath her belly where she can cover you with her arm.
Okay.
Alistair?
Find a nice tree, one that's going to have enough coverage to kind of break the rain, and then just lean up against it.
Okay. You kind of lean up against it and pass out the same as Gerard as Vith watches over all of you. As you guys slumber away, Gerard, once again, similar to last night, as you kind of fade off into the blackness of sleep, you feel yourself falling. That feeling when you first begin to fall asleep, except continual, as the light slowly grows black around you as you feel yourself falling into darkness. Whistling through the deep. Shadows form around you again, swirling and winding around each other, slowly caressing your body, almost wrapping you in a small cocoon, until streaks of red ripple through the shadow as they begin to swirl faster and faster surrounding you as you feel a presence upon the edge of your mind until slowly the shadows disappear and you get the similar feeling of drowning, just pressure as if you're in water, as everything around you is red. You reach up, once again feeling the coarse rock of the side of the pool as you once again pull yourself out through this volcanic rock, and this thick, almost like molasses liquid, red liquid falls off of your body down below you as you once again pull yourself onto the black cobblestone road westward, or what you assume is west anyways. That's where the light seems to be peeking over beyond the mountains into this volcanic field of rock and lava, and eastward, winding through, crossing a stone bridge to the towering pinnacle, the citadel that seems to loom over you, as on the edge of the wind you hear the screams of a familiar voice that you know to be Gregor, coming from the top of the tower.
I was prepared for this to happen. Am I clear-headed? Am I foggy?
So you prepared for this to happen, so it doesn't take you quite by surprise like it did last time. Everything does kind of seem to be a haze, almost as if your thoughts are a bit slow to react. Your mind's moving slower. Your reflexes aren't quite as fast, but you are still very much in your full presence of mind.
Once again, I look down at my shield to see which shield I'm wielding.
As you look down, you see you are wielding the shield that Gregor left you on your arm.
Is my body wet? Is my hands wet? Or is my armor wet?
You are still dripping with the liquid from the pool that you came out of.
Okay, so I wouldn't know if I was still wet from the rain.
No.
Okay. As I continue towards the tower yet again.
As you're examining your body, though, give me a perception check, as this time you're in a better state of mind to examine yourself more closely. Okay. As you're kind of fiddling around with your body, trying to, see if you're wet, as you touch your face, you realize you have a beard. But not, you've been known to be clean-shaven sometimes, or keep a short, kept one before, but scraggly, almost as if it hasn't been cut in weeks, coming down about, 2 or 3 inches off your chin at this point. Around your cheeks. And as you kind of touch the rest of your face, you realize you have a scar coming down from your cheek around to your lip.
Okay. I continue to the ravine that's full of lava.
All right. As you head towards the tower once again, walking across the bridge, the familiar sight, nobody standing there. As you walk up towards the gates of the tower, as you hear the wails of Gregor from once again, "Stop! Please! Stop! Help me! Gerard!"
Alright. And at that point, I look around on me for something that I currently own when I'm awake. My dagger. My dagger. I guess I'll grab my dagger, and I'll toss it into the lava as I walk across.
Okay. So you toss your dagger as you walk across the bridge into the lava. As you walk up to the door?
Correct.
Do you open the door?
Correct.
All right, once again, as you open the door, your dagger now missing from your belt, the halls echo with the screams of Gregor, just screaming in pain from the top. "Please, just stop! I'll give you anything! Please!"
And as soon as I open this door, this is when I wake up. And I'll open the door.
Run up to the top, running around the corridor, the swirling staircase coming up to the top. As you pull open the door, a light flashes in your eyes as you awaken. At this point, you awaken first, this time out of your friends. It is about, we'll say 1 o'clock, we'll say 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, as you are covered, drenched in sweat.
I look at Vythe. For Vythe.
Vythe is looking directly at you. You almost feel as if he's been watching you the entire time. But as you look at him, you quickly almost begin to be burnt on your hip. And as you look down, your dagger is glowing red hot. As it burns through its scabbard.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, it's through a leather loop, as it probably cuts through my leather loop, and I throw it in front of Vythe.
As you throw it over in front of Vythe and kind of stick it in the ground, the metal slowly begins to cool. As this is when the rest of you wake up. As you guys look around, the rain has slowly stopped, leaving the area, well, a bit chilly in the aftermath of the storm. Very cool, a bit plain, as the fog has kind of settled over the plain. Togric specifically, as you look around, you'll kind of see Gerard standing there, a bit pale and sweaty, just staring at Vythe as Vythe stares back at him. Give me a perception check. Actually, all of you can roll me a perception check because all of you guys are going to see this.
If I can find perception skills perfectly.
You guys get an extra Hello Kitty because Dean has demanded more belly rubs.
My bear
All right.
got 27, I got an 11.
Well, everybody except for you then is going to see this connection between Vythe and Gerard. And as you look, you'll see Gerard kind of breathing heavily, sweat rolling down his face. As you look and you see the dagger lurched in the ground as just the red embers of heat are just barely beginning to fade away.
That's odd, to say the least.
I'm entirely silent, waiting for Vythe to strike up conversation. I know he has something to say.
You don't know Vythe very well.
He's just kind of looking at you from the distance. He kind of stares at you before he drops down to the ground. Walks over and picks up the dagger. And utters some words underneath his breath as he strikes his fingers over it. He'll walk over to you and hand you your dagger back. You kind of lean forward. This dagger also has the same lingering corruption that you still smell of. Before he walks away. Get it checked out.
And as he walks away, I'll plainly say, like it was just pulled from the plains of Rancor.
He'll just kind of stop and turn around. So you didn't say anything to him about this last time, and I don't know what you said to Tyler.
I didn't say anything
He
to
didn't tell
anybody.
me nothing last time.
As he just says that, and everybody silent.
Where'd you get that dagger again?
In Emberfall.
Who'd you get it from again?
General Trader.
Huh.
So what do you mean? Vythe says, Rancor, as Torvin's kind of turning around, just waking up. What about what?
I don't know. Just a hunch.
He said it's a dagger from, he says it feels like it came out of Rancor.
What do you mean by says the dagger itself is from the Seven Hells? Or
That dagger in my
Seven Hells?
that dagger in my dreams, they threw into a pit of lava.
Sit down. Is he just sit? Explain from the beginning.
I have a lot of information.
Well, you can tell me what you do now.
Gregor calling to me from a tower. I rush there, open the door, and wake up here.
There's nothing else you saw. Sight smells. Anything can be important.
Brimstone, a ravine of lava, a black tower.
Being a scholar on the shadow, would I have heard anything about this kind of stuff before?
You may certainly roll me a knowledge arcana.
Okay. $30.
All right, with your 30, you've studied things like this quite a bit. There are a few different. There are actually several possible explanations for this. It could be real, and he could have a direct link to Gregor because of their close relationship, and Gregor could be reaching out to him from the pit. It could also be that somehow something has formed a connection with him, something from the pit itself, whether it was something that was placed on him or something that he did, reached out to him, and he could be receiving a vision from something in the pit. It could be someone else entirely sending him dreams or nightmares, somebody from Eridar itself. And he could also just be having nightmares. It could be real, it could be not, but it is very possible that what he's seeing is real. It's also very possible that it's not. You need to examine him more closely while he's sleeping.
Alright, so I'm gonna let you know there's there's many different reasons that this could be possible, but I'm gonna need to take a look at you while you're sleeping.
I mean, the bright red burning dagger was no indication that might have been real.
There's different reasons that it could be real, is what I'm saying.
Yes, my dagger started melting on my hip.
You're either connected to Gregor so strongly that he is trying to contact you, or something is connected to you in Rancor, or somebody has cast a spell on you.
It can't be just a connection. When I go there, I'm different. I'm not the same version of me. I'm me in the future, I'm guessing.
I'm gonna have to take a look at you when you're sleeping next time to know for sure.
Okay. That's what I figured Vythe was doing last night.
I mean, I watched you for corruption, but I'm by no means an expert on this sort of thing. I guess it would be helpful more if we could see what you see while you're dreaming. As Torvin is kind of looking around and goes, "This is too much for me, man. This is too much for me. I just wanted to sleep."
This is no dream. The first night I cut my hand when I was there and woke up with blood there, but no cut.
So as you go down to look at your hand, there is still no cut there, nor any blood like from before. But your dagger was hot.
Well, yeah, that happened the first time I dreamt. This time my dagger, I threw it into the lava.
Okay.
So, do we go to the city now?
I mean, I'm not sure it's safe to take you to the city, Vythe says.
That's why I wanted to sleep one more night outside the walls.
Togric, you know very well if the connection goes one way, it can easily go the other.
So, Gerard, I'm gonna need you to let me put you to sleep.
Okay, I'll go to sleep willingly.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you were tired enough. Some people
Yeah,
aren't.
you
when they
just
wake
slept
up.
for 8 hours.
I mean, you can put me to sleep. Go ahead, but I'll willingly let you.
Okay, I hold my hand out, and green mist develops around his head, and I just say the word sleep.
Okay. So at this point, well, you kind of cast the spell over him as he kind of crumples back against the tree where he was sitting. Gerard, as you kind of fall asleep, retreating back into your dream state, it's just a standard sleep, and you see no dreams. Kilroy, as you're looking out at him, I need you to give me another knowledge arcana check. Who all is examining him while he sleeps over, we're going to say, the next few hours?
Is it a knowledge arcana check?
30.
I'll leave it to the guy who has that skill.
Go ahead and roll it anyway. I'll roll it for Vice as well. Alistair, you're not a magic boy. As
Yeah,
really something
if
you
I
do.
wanted to, I
Is
could.
Torvin will kind of look around for a second. He goes, "We're sitting here longer? It's fine. I've got it. Alistair, come here. Come here.
Oh.
Come sit in my tent. We'll stay dry." As he
Ah,
kind of sits down and strikes
I'm
up a low flame and gets some crackling bacon going. As he leaves that to crisp, he turns to you and pulls out a deck of cards. All right.
Kind of nuzzles her head at the entrance of the tent, like.
oh, too big.
You can sit right there. It's fine. I've seen bigger. As he turns, all right, so the name of the game is Rummy. As he starts stealing you cards.
Ah, is this a dwarven-based game?
I'll teach you, don't worry. As he goes through the method of teaching you how to play, as you sit there and pass the time with him, playing cards as he finishes up his bacon, throwing a strip to the bear before he breaks it up, and you guys play for pieces of bacon that you don't eat. I mean, you eat some and then play for the rest.
Of course, yeah.
So, Togric, what was your... Oof, big rough. As you guys are sitting here, sitting back, watching Gerard sleep. Gerard, like I said, for you, the sleep is dreamless and nothing happens. But in the middle of the night, Kilroy, for just an instant, you catch a flash of magic from within Gerard, almost like a pulse, lasting no longer than a second, just briefly touching on him before it disappears. It's a powerful foreign magic. It seems just slightly familiar, almost as if you've encountered it before, but different. But you can't quite put a finger on it. But something reached out and touched him. It definitely had an infernal aura about it, but not long enough for it to leave a bit of corruption. It's just like a pulse of magic, like a sonar ping. Touched him and then came back.
I snap my eyes open. I'm like, something is trying to pull him while he sleeps.
What did you see? I didn't see anything, Vith says.
It's infernal. It's an infernal spirit trying to pull on him while he's sleeping. I'm pretty sure something in Raincore is drawing him there.
A spirit, you're sure?
It's probably not a spirit, more of a demon, but I can't be sure.
I told Gerard he'd be paying a visit to the Sanctum when we got back to Emberfall.
What could be so powerful to reach across the veil?
One of the lords? I mean, it's not unheard of, and as we saw at Illidion, the barrier might not be as strong as it was.
Can I roll an intelligence check for who took Gregor?
You may. You may give me a flat intelligence to remember.
If I
13.
can remember, can I just tell him?
So it is. His name is Ali Khan.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. Yes, his name is Alicant the Merciless. He is a greater demon. You know of him because you've studied him before, because he was part of the invasion that took place during the Calamity. One of the major generals under Isgaroth, who is the lord of the seventh layer of hell. He is the Lord of the Damned, who actually walked upon the surface of the Free Marches during the Calamity 17 years ago, in which Balthazar and Zenithar faced them. He was one of the generals underneath Isgaroth. That's where you recognized him from, because you have studied that, being a scholar of such a subject.
So when we were in his presence, when he took bigger, did that energy feel like what was tugging on Gerard?
No. He would not be capable of generating this level of power. It is different. It's not wholly demonic. It's corrupted, but okay. It's more powerful than what you sensed from him at the time.
Okay. And you said he was a greater demon?
He was a greater demon. So the category is, you have devils, which are just created by the pit. They're the pits of despair. And then any mortal being that falls to Rancor will eventually become a demon. They start off as lesser demons, and they can grow to the ranks of greater demons. And then you have the demon lords that rule the seven hells. And then you have Belros Azul, the prince of hell, above them.
So, the presence felt familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. It's definitely stronger than a greater demon, and it's corrupted in some way.
So it felt familiar, but we've hardly interacted with any demons or devils of any kind. And you're sure it's demonic in origin? It's not mundane arcane magic?
As far as I could tell, yes. Infernal.
As I frustratedly just kind of grab at my hair, I don't have any idea of how to even begin to diagnose what the problem is, let alone how to help. Lythe?
We didn't see it without seeing it ourselves. We need an expert. We need an expert on the
Start waving my
planes.
And expert on the planes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there's Helkaz back at Emberfall.
I mean, if he doesn't know, you're right. I bet you he knows someone that would.
Safe bet as any.
Who studies? I mean, sure, studying the shadow and its effects as he turns to Kilroy, and studying the creatures that have walked this earth, sure. But I don't know, just who has ventured to the outer planes that still exists?
There's there's another option, I guess.
Oh.
Would I be able to mind link with my bear to know?
What do you mean?
Would my bear know of any, demons that was in a different plane? Because
your bear is
in a different plane.
Yeah, she's originally from a different plane. You can try. So go ahead and roll me a concentration check while you do that. I'm going to come over to Togrik's question.
Yep.
If something's guiding him to Rancor, we could visit the Hole of Illidion. It might strengthen the tie, as reckless as that is. It's the only place I know of that kind of thing.
There's only a few places in which the veil is thin, and that is one of them. But I think we need more information first. I don't want to... what if this... we don't know who this or what this is that's trying to pull on him. For all we know, taking him to such a place where the veil is so weak, it could actually pull him through.
Like I said, it was reckless. But...
if it gets me closer to Gregor, I'm not against it.
It might get you dead.
Good morning, by the way.
Torvin just kind of chuckles from the corner.
You're picking up a nasty eavesdropping habit lately, Gerard.
I was sleeping.
Emberfall first, then, no matter what. I doubt we're going to figure it out here in the wilderness, regardless of whether or not we have a Professor Emeritus by us.
30 on that concentration check, by the way.
Okay. We remember, of course, that he is very well a scholar on the shadow and its effects, but knowing about what happens on Rancor is completely different. But with your 30, as you kind of reach out and meld with your bear, just remember she doesn't exactly communicate in speech, but communicating with her in thought as your minds meld together, as you're just impressing this question on her, just you want to know about home. As you kind of fade away into her mind, you'll see the bright colors of trees off in the distance, luminescent blue grass around, 2 suns in the air arching over the sky, as you will quickly realize that she is from the Elswild and would have no knowledge of Rancor.
Oh, this is a beautiful place, though.
It is extremely beautiful. As you see luminescent violet butterflies flying on the breeze. You know, the trees almost seem to sway back and forth. The wind's almost like they're talking to each other. It's an extremely beautiful place.
When I snap out of it, I just yell, I want to live where you live.
She kind of nuzzles up to you.
I kind of wrap my hands around her head, and I'm like, I got nothing out of that, guys. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's not really any of our areas of expertise. We, as I gestured myself and Vythe, know how to kill the shadow, not necessarily all of its facets, let alone Rancor. It's been a long time since I've even had to deal with anything like that. Prior to Illidion and Emberfall, of course.
As Torvin kind of stops playing the Moogle's game and goes, I know how to kill him, as he holds up his blade arm, but that's about it.
You know how to send him back. I don't see you jumping into Rancor to actually kill me.
I don't see you jumping into Rancor either, young one. Short beard. As it just turns away.
Grumbling under my breath. All that aside, I think our best bet is to pay a visit to Alcaz or the Grandmaster. Hell, maybe even Alexander. If any of Balthazar's or Zenithar's works are still around, you know he has possession of them. And they were plain horse, so...
And I glimmer in my eyes. I'm like, ooh, books?
Yeah, good luck getting a hold of any of those works. We saw what happened last time we dealt with anything Zenithar left behind.
Talking
take a look at Alistair.
Balthazar and Zenithar's works, by the way, as Torvin gets just a grim look of silence. Yesterday on the road, I was reading through this letter that you gave me. The one you had found deep within, or that you had found in the Barrow Depths. And while I don't understand most of this, I do the symbol of power. As he kind of takes it and hands it back to you. There's only one thing within Emberfall that could be referring to.
Being?
The crown of Emberfall. The one that Balthazar was wearing when he fell. That's been worn by the rulers of the city for thousands of years.
Would you know where we could find the merchant's auction?
Absolutely not. I have no idea who you're speaking of. But as I was reading it, it just came to me. But it used to be referred to that all the time.
I kind of give him a grim look. Any idea when Zhao was getting back to town?
I didn't hear anything before I left, but if anybody would know, it would be Leoric.
But if anybody
Leoric Thon Darstill! And he pulls out give me the letter!
Yeah, I hand it over.
LVD!
Slippery info broker.
As he hands it back to you.
Assuming he's still at his old haunt, he's by the harbor in Emberfall. Might be able to ask him a few questions if I had any pertinent details for him. Maybe if Maybe if we can get there before word about Darandur reaches out, I might have a few bargaining chips. He's a stingy asshole, though.
Fair enough.
If he knows something, it's not going to be easy to get him to say anything about it. Honestly. What good's your title if we don't use it to teleport everywhere, Kilroy?
Yeah, now that I think about it, why didn't you pay for us to teleport? There's, like, a tower in Darandur. I think there's, like, 3 mages there, but it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, Torvin, but, Darandur's teleport history isn't exactly the cleanest.
Yes, but they've got a human mage there now!
Well, that would have been nice to know, you ass.
But hey, I didn't think about it. I don't like magic anyway.
Then why are you complaining?
Confused in
Because it's quicker, and I remember when Balthazar used to teleport us all the time for free!
Don't bitch about magic if you like using it.
That must have been excellent.
Well, I mean, he made them teleport us for free. It was great.
Yeah, I can't make them teleport us for free. I ain't got money.
But you get that fat professor discount, you ass.
I would
I
have
still
paid.
don't have enough.
You forget, I own an inn. I would have paid.
We can always go back.
Sure.
We're
2 days out now.
Chalmers. We might as well just push the hell on and get on a boat. Besides, as I kind of pass a sidelong glance at Vythe, we might need to hurry.
Here, it's... Okay, let's look at this realistically. How long is it from here to Chalmer's Ferry and the boat trip? Or it's 2 days back and a teleport?
It's another day to Chalmer's Ferry, and then let me pull up my map for just you guys know. For those of you guys that are watching, you guys can see the same Free Marches map that I have down in the links below, and then probably another 4 days back to Emberfall.
Yeah, we should take the 2-day trip back.
Well, at this point, Vythe says we turn around and we save a total of 3 days for what? 150 drakes a pop?
Might as well just press on. We're already almost to Chalmers, and a boat ride might give us a chance to really rest. As I look at Alistair and his moving normal speed problems.
Yeah, so as you look at him, Alistair, your right knee... Yeah, so your right knee has begun to swell up. It's almost blue and purple, and it's maybe the size of a fucking grapefruit. As you know, it's very tender to walk on. I can't hear you.
Oh,
There you go. Now I can hear you.
all right, cool.
But like I said, so it's about the size of a grapefruit. It's like blue, and your fur's kind of matted there, and it's very tender to walk on.
Well, you know, tough times being a hero.
As Torvin and Vythe just roll their eyes. Well then, Torvin says, I guess we've decided to go onward.
Sorry, I've not been paying attention at all. I just thought that's what you were doing anyways.
I hate you, Alistair. So I sling my bag over my shoulder and keep trudging through the drizzle.
All right. The day begins to pass slowly as you guys awaken in the afternoon. Once again, the sun slowly sets beyond the horizon as the night's chill comes into the air. It's summer, so it's still cool, but much colder than the heat of the daytime. It's especially begun to warm up now that it's stopped raining this morning. You guys walk on throughout the night, walking along the hard-trod path that is over the thousands of years since the Blessed Kingdom fell, slowly overgrown as the roads have been destroyed. Eventually, around dawn, as the sky is just beginning to peek out over the mountains behind you, you come over a large berm, and see the walled city of Chalmer's Ferry strewn out on the southern bank of the Ember flow in front of you. Once again, as previously when you passed it, it's a tall city, relatively new stonework, just as before. As Chalmer's Ferry is really, this entire dwarfen settlement has popped up around the ferry boat here, of which the town gets its name over the last 10 years. The walls, tall, relatively complete. There's still some work to be done around the gates, and the docks still need some fixing. But for the most part, the dwarfs have been hard at work creating their only port, with giving them the ability to trade with other cities along the water. The symbol of the Blesnak Kingdom and of Clan Bladesong hangs heavily over the ramparts as you guys approach, along with the symbol of the clan that rules this area. The silver sword on a black field. As you guys approach the gates, the portcullis is open. What do you guys do?
Oh.
For a boat as quickly as possible.
Well, are there no guards or anything that need to stop us?
No. So it's a bit different than Darandur. Chalmer's Ferry is a pretty big port town. As you guys walk up, you're walking in with roads that connect from the southeast and from the west as you kind of merge with merchants and traders coming to this city to either gain passage to Emberfall or farther in towards Weldune, or maybe they're even heading towards Darandur as you kind of mix in with this crowd of people. The city isn't as large as Darandur by any means, but it's still a decent-sized city with a large stone wall, and maybe 10,000 people live here.
Okay. So it's a city on the rise.
Yeah.
All right. I like this.
What was hunting us?
So we're being hunted by something at the moment?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Oh, that was a joke.
Okay. So as you guys walk in, the gates open as you guys enter through the portcullis into the large open area. The bazaars, people are hawking their wares on the side. Fresh meat here, right here. Fresh meat, as you hear. Fresh fish straight from the Emberflow as he slaps one around. Apples, candied apples over here. As people are hawking all different manners of wares as you walk into the large marketplace.
I kind of watch some of the alleys that, Alistair meandered through, and I'm checking to make sure there's no assassins while rubbing my chest scar that I got here.
Yes, because the last time you were here, of course, this is when one of Vehemegor's agents tried to assassinate Tagric. As you're kind of looking around, a bit wary, remembering the antics of last time. Give me a perception check.
Oh, we should go to that same inn.
We should get a boat and get out of here.
We should get in and get out. That's my vote here. You said a perception check?
Yes, and remember, of course, you guys approach just at dawn as the city is really starting to come together.
18.
I guess a perception check. Okay. All right. And as you're kind of looking around, not really expecting trouble, but just kind of remembering as before. Okay, let me look at your passive perceptions.
Back
All
in
right.
paranoid mode.
You're kind of looking around. You don't really see anything until all of a sudden you notice a small child, maybe 10 or 11, a small young girl, kind of brushes up into Kilroy. As Kilroy, you kind of stumble for a second and look over annoyed. But Tiger, you'll notice that his purse is missing as the girl darts down an alleyway.
Kilroy, your purse is missing. That alleyway, the kid that just bumped into you.
I fly and take off.
As Kilroy just, his wings spread out from his back as him and his bear go barreling down the alleyway. Does anyone follow? As Torvin kind of turns around and goes, "What?"
Yes.
Got
Yes.
mugged already.
Yeah.
Okay, as you all turn, barreling down the alleyway, you guys turn, see the girl turn over her shoulder. She's a half-orc girl with the ponytailed hair, braided hair that comes down, wearing kind of a makeshift shawl that drops down. As she kind of turns back and with big eyes, turns around the corner and goes bearing down another alleyway. Everybody give me an athletics check. Except for Kilroy, you're flying.
Athletics. Strength.
Ooh, and that's one.
11 for the bear.
Okay. As all of you guys turn running, Alistair, you manage to sprint out ahead of everyone. Oh, yeah, Alistair does have disadvantage.
Let me roll again then.
All right. As Alistair, you still kind of head off in front of everyone. Running ahead, maybe about 15 feet. As all of you guys turn the corner, I'm going to look at passive perceptions here. Gerard and Tagric, as you guys turn the corner down this next alleyway, you notice a quick figure darting from behind you. As you turn into the alleyway, you'll see two figures standing in front of you, on the other side of them a wall with the girl in front of them. One of them, a tall half-orc with a hammer over his shoulder. Standing next to him is a squirrely human wearing long robes. And as you look behind you, you realize the gap behind you has been closed with 3 more armored figures. All right, you know the drill. Cough over your coin and we'll leave you your lives.
You know, I've honestly had enough of this shithole. My aunt needs to find a new place to settle.
Honestly, to be fair, you guys are just messing with the Dwarven Prince Togger Plague Song right now. And I don't think it's going to go too great in Dwarven City.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. And my aunt's a gnome. Sure, the half-orc says.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna kill him, guys. I'm done with it. And I'm gonna
look, as they're trying to talk, you cast Timroth's Hunger as the ground begins to erupt around you as the 3 behind you and the 2 in front of you are just gnashed at by these just gaping maws that come out of the ground, snapping at their feet. Everybody roll me initiative.
Oh, Lance, just to verify, this is a mainly Dwarven town, correct?
Yes, the Chalmer's Ferry it's not even a mainly Dwarven town. I mean, in terms of population, it is only like 75% Dwarven, but it's still ruled by Darandur. The clan that runs it is subservient to King Torin.
24 initiative, my disadvantage. Lance, quick question. How many feet would it take for me to get back to the main, just the main road?
What do you mean?
Well, let's say I got double movement. It's 60 feet. Would I have to take 1 or 2 turns to basically get back to out of an alley and into an actual part of the town?
I mean, you ran down one alley and into another alley, so I would probably say that it would take you 3 rounds to get back.
Bro, how long are these alleys?
I mean, you would have to run through the people that are you have to run through your allies, through the people that had blocked the area behind you, and then down the alley.
I bet.
Okay. Alistair, what's your initiative?
Let's see, what my 24.
All right, that was with disadvantage?
Yep. My
Bella?
advantage was 26.
Fair enough. Bella?
Oh, sorry. 8.
Okay. Kilroy?
10.
10. Gerard?
8.
Tagric?
Glad I got that sneak attack off, because I got a 4 for my initiative.
Fair. And they all did pass their save, but I'll need you to roll that damage.
Can do, good buddy. They're going to take 23 points of damage.
Okay. As they all just kind of flinch underneath, as you're just blasting them with this violent energy coming out of the ground, as they, all right, you choose the way of pain. Alistair, it's your turn. As remember, in front of you, there's this tall orc with a large hammer over his shoulder. Next to him, this human who's a lot shorter. He's maybe like 5'5", with short red hair that comes down with a very scraggly beard. As he's wearing these long robes, kind of almost standing behind the orc. As you look behind you, and then consequently behind all your friends that are behind you, Vyth and Torvin, not quite catching up, didn't follow you guys down the path. You'll see that there's a very heavily armored human standing in the middle, down in a warrior stance. And on the right of him is an elf with his hair pulled back, wielding 2 daggers. And on his left, so to the left of the human, is another elf, this one wielding just 1 long sword, kind of in a dancer stance. Your turn.
So be like, you guys got this, right? Doesn't matter. I'm going, bye. And I'm going to turn around and go down that alley. Or at least try to get by the...
So you are going to take 3 attacks of opportunity when you do that.
All right.
Okay. Give me an athletics check to try to run through them.
Right, you can only do 1 or 2.
And of course, you'll have disadvantage.
Of course. Would you like a 25 or a 26?
Okay, as you go running through them, they all 3 reach out their weapons at you. The big, heavily armored human will miss. The elf with the dagger will kind of lean in, kind of stabbing you in the side with a 25.
All right.
And then the elf with the long sword will miss as he slashes at you. So, when you run through, you are flanked, because you're running in between them. And you will take...
Bro, for a simple stab, that's a lot of dice.
15 points of damage on the sneak, because you are flanked.
Okay.
As you manage to dart through them, quickly breaking to the back. And now you're going to run towards the main alley.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say you get maybe another 15 feet down the alley this turn. Let's see. Kilroy, it is your turn. And Bella's on deck.
Okay, so...
As for the first time ever, Alistair does not run headlong into combat, and instead runs straight past you, away from this orc in front of you, through the enemies that have tried to block off the area, pushing them out, breaking down the hallway back towards the main road.
The one time I need his help, see if I help him ever again. Is there anybody within range of hitting me?
So behind you, you've got about 15 feet towards the end of the alley, where the 3 are behind you, and then you've got about 25 feet to the end of the alley, where the orc and the human are.
Mass enlarged person, Gerard, Togric, and my bear.
Bro, that's just okay.
Alright.
As you guys are almost cramped for space. Actually, you are cramped for space in this small alley as you guys all begin to grow until you guys are like touching each other, Gerard standing 12 feet tall, you know, as you guys just begin to fill the space. As
And
you
then,
swirling
cantrip,
magic around your legs. Go ahead.
cantrip infestation on one of the guys standing next to the little girl.
Okay, so do you want the big orc or the robed human?
Big orc.
Okay. As once again orange light begins to circle and magic swirls around his legs as these tiny scarabs crawl up his legs as he kind of just brushes them off with ease. He passes the save.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a 20 fortitude.
Oh, he failed.
What's your DC?
23.
But
How?
You know that priest thing that you gave for the vows? I took the one that gives me +3 to my spell DC.
Oh, you bastard. All right, that's fair enough.
it'd be like
Okay,
that.
so he kind of rolls down, kind of brush off these scarabs, but they continue to roll up. He's like, fuck! Fuck! It stings! They're biting my legs!
11 damage.
This will take 11 points of damage. Bella's up. Gerard, you are on deck.
Bella is going to let out a blood-curdling roar and charge for the orc and grapple him.
Give me your best roar.
Woo!
All right, as you'll run up to the orc, as the orc's just kind of throwing up his hammer, trying to hold back the beast. Whoever redeem the DM dice thing, swap DM dice, I hate you. As he's pulling back, as he just kind of almost falls to a knee before pushing back up, barely able to withhold the bear before finally he falls and the bear grabs around him.
That ends the bear's turn.
Gerard, you're up. Enemies on deck.
All right, you said the one that's closest to us is 15 feet away.
So you have the orc that is now grappled by Bella is 25 feet in front of you, maybe 20 feet in front of you because you were in front of Kilroy. And then you have the small human that's next to him with the girl with Kilroy's purse behind them. Behind you, you have the heavily armored human in the center, flanked by 2 elves. They're only about 15 feet behind you.
Okay. How far does it have to be a charge?
At least 10 feet.
All right, well, I'm going to charge at the heavily armored human with Destructive Smite. And I'm going to do that at a level 3.
As you're charging at him, he's in a warrior stance low, his heavy kite shield in front of him, trying to block his face as his long sword is just set on top of his shield. Go ahead and roll me your charge. All right, as you come running up, bringing around your shield, smashing into him, throwing him off balance, as you will successfully attack with your shield, glowing with light. He kind of is knocked off balance as he falls back, almost stumbling, as you then smack into him with your mace. Roll your damage.
Oh, big brain.
All right. So as your shield, you've filled it with this smiting energy, and then it begins to pulse and pulse as you can feel a divine presence within you. As it blasts out, you're going to deal double damage on this attack.
Correct.
No, so we're going to double the number that you got already.
Yeah, I didn't double that for my Destructive Smite.
Yeah, so how much are you adding for smite?
That was the 3rd tier one, so 15.
All right, so we're going to add another 15 on there for your Destructive Smite, which will make it 36 points of damage. And then through almost this divine enhancement, you can feel the spirit of Zenides, the Archangel of Justice, your patron within you, as your shield just emanates this flash of divine light, as you are going to deal 72 points of damage, as where this knight once stood is just a smoking rubble.
I'm going to yell out, "Give me back my money and your money, and we'll let you go."
Roll Intimidate with advantage.
Huh.
Oh,
Thank God for advantage.
As they look around, as they all just kind of look around, the 2 elves in front of you turn and book it. They're just out. Gerard, take your attacks of op. Well, your 1 attack of op because you don't have quick reflexes. As they go to turn to just run, as they're just horrified. The orc can't run, but the human stands there and kind of looks around as he's like, I don't have a way out.
I said money, and you can leave.
You have a way out. It's this hammer if you don't hand over your coin. Robbed robbers.
30 to hit, and I did 13 points of damage.
As you go and smack the one, he kind of stumbles. As he stumbles right past you, Alistair, as you're running, but they just book it right past you as you have a chance to smack one as they run past you. because they're also running past you, so you get an attack of op as well. And you can hit the one that Gerard just hit and stumbled.
I will decline to hit at this time.
Okay. As you also saw that flash of light emanate behind you, and you turn over your shoulder, and where that human was there is just this smoking ruin. As the human looks around, quickly grabbing the purse from the girl, throwing it at you, going, "Here, take it and go. I don't know what that was, but just take it and go."
I said your money too.
As he looks back to the orc, and the orc's like, "Fucking give it to him!" As he like grabs the orc's purse and he throws it at you, and then he grabs his purse and he throws it at you. He's all right. There's no more need for anyone to die here. So he's like looking right at you, Gerard, like,
Put him away.
Looking right back at him.
Came from, or so help me.
I surrender. We cool. We're cool, right? We're good. We're good.
I have my bear lick the orc's cheek and then release its pincers.
All this is still going on. I'm still trying to get to the main road.
All right. So you release the orc as the girl's just kind of up against the wall. She's got like silently crying tears coming down her cheeks. As the two elves run past you, they're actually just as fast, actually faster than you right now, Alistair, as you're just frustrated because it wasn't for your lame knee, you'd be able to keep up with them as they blow past you, but they're only about 10 feet in front of you when you make it to the alley. I mean, when you make it to the main road.
All right. So when I hit the main road, how busy is this road? Question mark.
It's dawn. Actually, now it's a little bit after dawn as traders are pouring into the city looking to barter their wares. Most traders aren't allowed to do business within Darandur unless they're pre-approved, so they come to Chalmer's Ferry to trade with the Blesnak, and then the Blesnak take those goods back and forth. So this is not the largest, but it's a decently large trading post as people are pouring into the city. You're in the bazaar. It is very populated.
All right, so I will be yelling in fantastic dwarvish, as I was raised by Oteller, a dwarf. Citizens of the great town Darandur.
Chalmer's Ferry. You're in
Chalmer's Ferry.
Got you.
Chalmer's Ferry. My B. The dwarven prince Hogrick Blade-Song is in town. Witness his power if you follow me.
Roll me persuasion.
I hate this man more than words can say.
Funny what happens when you bully me about my fear of water.
I'm gonna bully you even harder.
It's not my greatest though. Oh.
All right. As you come and come and see him if you want. As a few people kind of turn and look at you, and most of them just go on about their day, passing through. But you do gather a small group of like 4 or 5, like, okay, all right, what are you talking about? Is you've got maybe 5 dwarfs in front of you, just like, all right, man, show me this prince.
Come, folks. I, as a warrior, have battled great battles with the prince of the dwarves. Follow me, and I will show you what destruction he has caused against orc thieves.
All right, so as you come forward, you guys, at this point, the two have just thrown their purses at you. As Alistair turns with these 5 dwarfs in tow, as there's just this smoking ruin, like just nothing but the boots left from where you smote this man, Gerard. Smoking, clouds of smoke coming out of them. As they turn the corner and just see, there's this giant bear barreling over this orc just released, and there's this smoking ruin of the shoes, and they do see this dwarf standing here, weapon out, almost ready to charge, as they go, "Is that the prince?"
That is the prince, as dark as he may seem. He is
Alistair, I hate you.
Champion, and he is here for you.
Did he do this?
Yes.
All hail Prince Bladesong! Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
In pure elation.
And I very convincingly hold up my hammer while I'm enlarged right now.
Do not let him scare you, as he is enlarged by one of our great wizards.
I'm gonna punch you through a wall, Alistair.
What power to do such a thing?
Come, Prince Todrick. The people are here. They would like to hear you speak.
Are these tried to rob you? As they kind of step forward, don't worry. We'll give them what for.
They tried. They lost a few coins in exchange. Kilroy, as I hold out my hand for those coin purses, just toss them up.
I'm keeping mine, but you can have the one they gave us.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. I'm not gonna throw yours. And I catch this coin purse. Here, keep quiet that you saw me, alright? As I throw down that coin purse to them. And maybe give them a few kicks on the way out of the alley.
See, I tell you, dwarves, champion of the people, is he not?
We'll be sure to tell this tale. Everyone will know of the heroism of... are you Eldrick or Togrick?
Togrick.
Togrick Bladesong!
Oh, hell no.
What the
This wasn't the deal. Give me back the money.
As they just grab the purse, and they're like, oh, he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. As they just sing as they travel off into the distance.
Was that worth it, Togrick?
I
You didn't
should've
get what
said
you
it was
want,
my
and we
brother.
lost the money.
Listen, I'm just gonna default to what I always do at this point and blame Alistair, okay?
I mean, it is his fault.
It's my fault when it is out of pure design that I did this.
I just want to
You
get the
bully
boat.
me for my fear of waters.
You know what? I'm even more excited for the boat now. Come on, Alistair, we've got places to be, and I'm gonna ride out this enlarged until we get back to Main Street and start, carrying him by the shoulder out towards the docks here.
Carrying who?
You.
Oh, you can't carry me. I'm too fast.
Not right now, you're not.
I'm gonna let you know. I got at least, Lance, 45 feet. Would you say?
Nah, you got 30.
What's your normal speed? 60 feet? You have 30
Yeah.
feet then. You have 30 feet of movement.
Well, yeah. I mean, I gotta have some.
You're still faster than him, though, as he goes to run at you.
I hate you.
He's not faster than my bear. My bear runs at him.
Okay,
Let's
so
just
are you trying to run away from...
Oh, 1,000%. And I'm gonna let you know. More people know about the Great Togrick Blade song if I get anywhere near that water.
As Torvin and Vythe kind of start to come down the hallway. What the fuck are you guys doing? We've got a boat.
Oh, thank you.
As they see Alistair just running down the way with the bear following behind him as they kind of get out of the way. What the fuck is going on?
On my way.
Kilroy couldn't help but get pickpocketed again, so
By
we had
a
to chase down a
child.
few thieves.
As quickly the bear catches up with you, I need opposed grapple checks.
I'm gonna just go ahead and default to Yeah, that's a default. I have no chance.
Yeah, the bear rolls a 40.
Jeez.
As he just kind of picks you up and places you on his back. Like, you just don't even resist. You just limp noodle it.
He's like, I know what this bear can do. Limp.
I'm dead weight at this point. Oh,
All right.
It's good stuff.
As you guys kind of follow this bear who's kind of waddling back and forth as you guys trapeze down towards the docks. As you guys make your way down towards the dock area, Torvin's quickly looking about before he goes, there's the one, as he pulls off this rather decently sized dinghy. It's a nice sized riverboat, single mast, with a tall sail, and it's got oars on the side for when the wind fails. There's a crew of maybe 6 on the back, as it looks as if they're preparing to push out shortly, you guys having arrived just as the sun rises. A motley assorted crew standing on the bow of the ship, holding the tiller. is a rather beautiful maiden. Long, flowing red hair that's pulled back into a top knot that comes up maybe about 6 inches before it falls back down. Wearing kind of a bandana that comes around her head with a long flowing cloak and an axe at her side. She's kind of barking around orders. All right, hurry up. Let's get the oars in. We're ready to push off. You said your name was Torvin, right? Come on, get on the boat. Your quarters are below. I want to be out of here in the next 15 minutes. 15 minutes!
Of course you picked the boat with the hot captain.
Shh, lady. Don't tell anyone. It's fine.
Carter, didn't you almost get killed by a redhead?
I've almost been killed by a lot of people. You'll have to specify.
But he specifically likes the redheads, but it's okay. I brought a bottle of wine as he puts it away.
He's going to get turned down again.
Hey, I'm always looking for the next X Mrs. Quickstrike.
Make 4 or 5 at this point.
Shh. That's fine.
If you need me, I'll be sleeping down below.
That's what you're always doing. Now, laddie, why don't you tell me about this ship? As Torvin walks up to her.
I'm going to need to talk to one of the crew members real quick.
Are you sure that's real close to the water?
These are questions that must be asked.
Okay, as you walk amongst her crew, Gerard and Kilroy, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna just. Are we allowed to go on the boat right now?
Yeah, she's like, hey, hurry up, we've got to go.
Oh,
Fife
yeah.
kind of walks up behind Togric and follows him downstairs to your quarters.
Yeah, head to the quarters.
Check out the top of the boat. I'm gonna stay up top for now.
Okay, Gerard, Togric, and Vythe, you guys walk downstairs, quickly past the first level, which is obviously a mess. You see there's a kitchens back there. It's not a particularly large boat. To the second floor, where a young kid down there, obviously a ship's boy, the cabin boy, is kind of mopping the deck as he goes, hey! As you Vythe kind of grabs his attention, and he goes, oh, yeah, your quarters are down there. It's all 3 of the rooms, 2 bunks in each room. Just pick one.
I'm still up there.
Did you guys hear me? Or did I cut out?
Yeah.
I was muted.
Okay.
So I'll grab the one if there's a window, I grab the one by it. If not, I just take either one. Doesn't bother me any.
Okay. All right. So you go and grab one, and Vythe quickly follows behind you into that room. Gerard, you grab another one. As you guys kind of drift off to sleep. Kilroy, you're kind of surveying the top of the deck. It's comes up to a pointed bow in the front with a bit of a raised platform where you see a harpoon gun there in the front. Coming up to the back where there's another raised platform. In front of the raised platform is the doors that lead down to the deck below. And then there's a small door off to the side that you would guess probably leads to the captain's quarters. And it comes up to a raised platform where you'll see the captain sitting there with Torvin shamelessly flirting with her, and she's obviously looks annoyed and is having none of it. As Alistair, you walk up to the crew, they're doing a few different things, some of which are pulling in the oars. One's pulling up the anchor, as even another one begins to kind of roll in, lean over the bridge from the docks as they begin to depart.
All right, so I'm going to talk to the one that is the most convenient / safest for me to talk to, because I am not getting anywhere near the rail.
Okay, so you probably go to the one that's dead in the center then. Yeah. He's kind of he's a full orc actually, with a braided black beard that comes down, lined with several rings. He's got long hoop earrings in his ear with a full bandana that comes over his head, tied in the back. He's wearing this like gaudy clothing, with this long curved sword at his side. He's the only one that's kind of in the center of the ship. He goes, you kind of walk over to him, he just kind of looks at you. Yeah, your quarters are down below.
Yeah. How long you been doing this?
What do you mean? Sailing?
Yeah.
About 2 decades now.
See, I assume that you're pretty good at your job, and so is everybody else on the ship.
I am the first mate.
Ooh. I assume that's fancy. So yeah, you're pretty good at your job. So is everybody else on the ship.
Yes.
All right. So 2 decades. It's a pretty long time. I'd say.
It is. I've been a sailor most of my life.
That's proud. That's proud work.
I mean, this isn't really sailing on the Umberflow. Wait till we get on the inner sea. That's sailing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be waiting for that. 2 decades. How many boat crashes / what am I trying to say? How many boats have sank have you been on in 2 decades?
As he kind of looks at you for a second. A bit afraid of the water, are you?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. So you want to talk about that?
He kind of puts his arm around you as he kind of leans you, starts walking you towards the lower decks, stopping at the end, at the top of the stairs. He goes, "Don't worry about it, man. It'll be perfectly fine. I haven't lost a ship in years. You're not going down, provided we don't find any pirates." As he kind of chuckles and pushes you down the stairs.
That's not funny. He's just like nudging me down, like that's not funny. All right, I gotta go find a place to sleep because that is what I shall be doing.
All right, as you head down to the lower deck, the same kid points you towards the end of the caravel. As you walk down, you'll see one door is closed, but you can clearly hear Togric and Vythe snoring from within. You hear Togric snoring from within, I should say. You assume Vythe is in there. You see one door slightly ajar. You see Gerard in there sleeping, and an empty bed. And then you'll see there's one more room that has 2.
Looks like I get my own room as I walk in and I shut the door.
I'm just in there. I can't sleep until Kilroy gets to the room to watch me sleep.
Okay. Kilroy, at this point, you watch
Creepy out of context.
the first mate kind of usher Alistair down below, and then kind of turns around with a chuckle, kind of rolling his eyes before he quickly is back to work. "Hey, you there! Hey, make sure you clean this shit up! You spill it, you clean it, you know the rules," as he's quickly barking out orders again, instantly in the role of the first mate.
So can you tell me anything about this ship?
So are you walking over to the first mate, or are you going to one of the other crewmen?
I'm going over to the first mate. Sorry.
Okay, as you kind of walk over to the first mate, he's in the middle of tearing a new one, and this small dwarf that's pulling up the oars. As you kind of walk over, he just kind of rolls his eyes. "Travelers, what can I do for you?"
Are you guys into pranks at all?
He kind of gives you a toothy grin where you can see like a few of his teeth are missing as he kind of looks at you. "What'd you have in mind?"
Alright, so...
Now, this conversation is interesting.
Alright, so, I'm gonna need some rope. And do you have a front, the front of the boat, does it come off and kind of
The
like
bow?
a... Yeah, does it have a spike at the front?
So as you look over, it's not like beautifully carved or anything. This is not a fancy boat, but there is a prow that comes off the front and kind of extends about 6 feet forward.
You think we could strap somebody to that?
Is it the one that's afraid of water?
That'd be the one.
Yes, we could do that. I have rope.
All right.
As he kind of stops for a second and looks up. 1 second. As he kind of walks over, he walks up to the captain and Torvin. And you kind of see there's a brief conversation there, which you don't really catch, where Torvin's eyes kind of light up and then quickly diminish as Torvin walks down below and the captain walks down below separately. As you see a sigh of relief over the captain's face before the first mate orders someone else over. to take the pillar. All right, I got rid of the captain. She wouldn't appreciate that. What's your name?
Kilroy.
All right, the name's Gorson.
Gorson. Nice to
meet you. All right. Hey, lads.
I got
Take five. Take five. You saw nothing. As they all as they nod their heads and disappear.
I have 2 companions that might be willing to help us out with this.
All right. As he's just kind of chuckling as you guys walk below.
We head to wake up Togric and Gerard, and I am going to fill them in.
As you head down to the second floor, Alistair, you're just on the verge of falling asleep, but you're not fully asleep yet. So I will let you roll a perception check with disadvantage. Or you already have disadvantage anyway.
Yeah,
so
buddy.
I can't give you double disadvantage. But you can roll a perception check to see if you hear these forthcoming conversations.
Please roll like garbage. Ah.
Yes, disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
His first roll is a 26. The second roll is a 14. So I need a stealth check from you, Kilroy.
We are 10 out of 10.
On the critical!
Oh,
As you kind of walk in, opening the door as Gerard's not even sleeping as he's standing there, as you kind of speak to him in hushed tones.
Hey, I have a plan I think you might want to be in on. It involves...
What kind of plan?
It involves tying Alistair over the water to the front of the boat.
Well, you do not have to wait to go to sleep until you're here, right?
Yeah, I will still be watching over you while you sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything until then, so might as well help.
Alright, let's go get Togric and see if he's in.
It's a whack move, Gerard. Whack move. I'll let you know.
So as you kind of knock on the door, Vice kind of opens it as you see Torvin snoring in the background. What?
I'm here for Togric. Actually, you know, if you want, you can be in on this too.
Be in on what?
We're gonna tie Alistair to the front of the ship.
As he just kind of looks around. That's funny, but I'm good. As he goes into his corner and you realize he's kind of lit some small candles and he's in the middle of meditating. As you can sense the corruption struggling within him.
We'll let him be as I kind of go nudge Togric.
I immediately, eyes fly open, and I grab a hammer on my belt.
Shh.
Obviously, there would be some noise there. Do I get perception for that?
You can, but you got a crit on disadvantage because he already crit on his stealth.
Whoa. All right, we crit on him stealthing. But Togric making noise and rapidly waking up and grabbing a hammer.
Roll me perception with disadvantage.
There are
2
many
rooms
things
over after your sleep. I think I'm okay. It's,
Oof. His first roll's an 11. Hey, you could crit fail. Go ahead and give me another one.
Hang on, it's not clicking right now. Give me 1 sec.
he's got to make it a roll of 20.
All right. As you go over, you just kind of roll for a bit. Just kind of, as you guys hear him roll in the other room, as he just kind of rolls over back to sleep. He doesn't hear anything.
We're gonna tie Alistair to the front of the ship. Are you in?
Eyes snap open. Shit, that's all you had to say. As I kind of gently, like, avoiding any ruffling from the mattress here, kind of uncanny quietness for me, slip out of my cot.
Alright, so let me go in first. As I open the door and go in, I go ahead and cast sleep to make him go into a deeper sleep.
Alright, give me, it's a will save, correct? I just want to make sure.
Disadvantage.
Yes.
Give me a will save at disadvantage, Alistair.
I'm getting unfairly bullied right now.
Yeah, as I'm in on this, I kind of feel that way too. Like, this is a lot.
As you all of a sudden wake up as this...
Disadvantage.
I know,
Yeah,
as
it
this
is.
green mist overwhelms you, as for a moment you're awake as you look out and see your friends, but to you it almost seems like it was a dream as you just fall back asleep.
Alright, time up, boys.
As this orc is still standing here, as Gorson turns around, like, shouldn't we tie him, just carry him up and then tie him to the prow?
That's exactly what I was
That
going to
works,
suggest.
yeah.
As
We can do
I
that,
heave
too.
ho him up onto my shoulders.
As
With some
Gorson's
idiots.
just is laughing, grabbing his legs. Come on, big man, you grab a leg as he hands you a leg, Gerard. No!
All right.
You're in this far. Might as well. He's going to hate all of us equally when he wakes up.
Yeah, I guess so.
In for a worm, in for a drake, as they say.
Alright, so we haul him up the stairs, bring him to the prow of the boat.
As you guys bring him to the prow of the boat, he's still sleeping as you guys go to tie him to the mast. Who's going to tie him to the mast?
Togrick.
I have good use rope. Yes.
Use
Wait,
rope,
we don't
use
have
rope
use
not
rope
skill,
no
but
more.
you can give me dex.
You can fuck right off and let me use something else. Or give this opportunity to another man. I don't even like my
Alright, hold
reflex
on.
save, let alone raw dex. Wait a second.
Let heavy armor man make the dex roll.
Yeah. I misuse rope.
So as you go in there and you're like trying to tie him while the people are holding him up, and Gorson's just like, move out of the way.
Yep, and I hold his weight and
As
hand him the
the
rope.
sailor goes to do it. I can't show you my dice roll, but it is a critical 20.
Man,
As, as
Convenient.
he just... I will send you a picture, Alistair, after the game. Okay, I'll take it right now.
I need,
It's funny though.
I need to see your hands. There you go, bud.
As you as all of you guys go to tie him up, it's just this brilliant bow knot as you guys tie him completely to the mast as the group pushes off with Alistair sleeping soundly. And this is actually where we're going to stop for the night, with us on a boat heading eastward towards the city of Emberfall. Alistair tied to the mast, and our companions getting a good chuckle out of it. And it's even funnier because of Alistair's crippling fear of water. So, great having you guys around. We definitely appreciate it. Stick around for the Q&A. We're going to have Gerard with us after today. The James Zero, who plays Gerard, answer a few questions, either about him, the character, or whatever you want. And of course, as always, me and Gunfire will be here. Definitely love to see the amount of chat engagement we got today, guys. Got some amazing subs. Thank you again, Halo. This is our highest watch video in a few weeks in terms of concurrent viewers, so we really appreciate all of you guys being here. It's a good session. We'll see what happens next week. I'm excited to see how Alistair reacts to the memes of being tied to this boat. Should be great as they'll return. Go ahead.
Not well.
Yeah, he's going to handle it like a champ.
Yeah.
Because he's the strongest man in the world.
As our heroes will return to the city of Emberfall for the first time in several weeks, and see how it's changed since the demonic attack in the city.
Thanks for coming, Kilroy. Thanks for coming, Alistair. We will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Move.
Adios. See you
See you
later.
guys.
We're just switching over.
Switching things over. Should take me just a second here, guys.
It's Austin's camera with my name.
Yeah, we're fixing it. All right, that being said, we do still have Gerard on the line, even though his picture is not quite up yet. With that being said, do we have any questions for Gerard? He's had a pretty interesting character arc over the last few weeks. with these dreams. I mean, I guess I'll start off. So, James, what do you, both you and then separately Gerard, make of these dreams that you've been having recently?
As Gerard, I feel like he doesn't know exactly what's going on, but it's a good chance for him to. He feels keep in contact with Gregor, especially knowing that in these dreams he's a little bit older, so it's kind of giving him hope that Gregor's alive in the coming years. As me, I mean, I don't know. We'll wait and see. It's pretty fun. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you like it. It's definitely interesting. So you feel like that Gerard is this? You feel like this for him is proof that that
Gregor's still alive.
down in the pit.
Yes, yes. That I wasn't crazy, just hoping that he was still alive. That I have a real chance to do something about it. So instead of just holding on for false hope, I have real hope.
Good.
Real hope, but seems a little questionable to have hope in a kind of scenario like that. Doesn't sound like things are going the greatest.
I mean, really, what does he have left, after Illidion got sucked into Rancor and his mentor got sucked into Rancor as well, that's kind of the only thing that he's working towards. He could further himself in the Oathsworn and things like that, but the one thing that really matters to him was Gregor and his teachings, so he continues to pursue that through hell or high water, literally.
Let's see, we've got some a compliment actually from Halo here for you, that you've grown a lot as a player over the last few sessions. It's been really great to see. He's glad to see Gerard around. So thanks for Halo for that really positive feedback.
Thank you, Halo.
Definitely streaming D&D this is new for this group. As a group, we've been playing together for a long time. Some of us longer than others. Me and James Zero here have been playing D&D together for about 6 years. And then me and Gunfire for about 3 or 4 now. With Nilla Gorilla, it's been about 6 years too. And then Cheek Clapper is a new addition as of last year. But we've been playing together for a while, but this is our first game session streamed. And it is a bit weird to do it in the middle of a campaign. This game started in maybe, I want to say, April of last year. So I had no idea how many episodes we were actually in. It's probably maybe three times as much as 27. But I just picked a number when we started. But definitely excited to see us all grow on stream. We love having you guys here.
For sure, and kind of piggybacking off that, there will be a game starting on Wednesdays here that's starting fresh. So it'll be from session 1 all the way through the end of the game. Whether it's via TPK or we actually finish a story for once, I'll be happy to see. No. One of my games have always ended in glorious TPKs, so I take no responsibility for this.
Yeah. Okay.
Hope it's a TPK session 1. That's no fun.
Halo's just trying to get out of having to stream for more than a week.
So yes, Halo will be joining us actually as a character, and what a character it is. You can actually see some of the characters linked down below here. By some, I mean all of them, under the Ruins of the Old World characters section. So if you are interested at all, you can check them out there. As far as backstory stuff, you'll have to pick some of that over from either the live sessions, or you can catch all of these on YouTube, things like that. So.
Yeah, and we'll definitely do a character intro at the beginning. Definitely excited though, and then we're of course looking to have the character sheets up for this game by next Monday. It was a bit easier to get the ones for the new game up on Sunday because they were all together, whereas some of the information for this game is on paper, some of it's in Foundry, so it was a bit harder for me to put all that together at once.
Definitely. Let's see. Do we have any other questions or comments or anything in the chat? Want to see it here. Let's see. Don't be shy. Was 9 in here today. Great session. Let's keep it up. Let's shoot for 15 next week. Feel free to spread the word.
Actually, I think at our highest point today, we had 11, which was nice.
So, actually.
Yeah.
And it was great to see some new faces in here. Let's see. Some of them
And definitely nice to see some recurring ones. Big Brain Girl, love to have you around every week. It's definitely nice to see that consistently. I didn't see Epic in here today, but he's been around the last few weeks too. Halo, of course. Definitely nice to have that consistent group, everyday watch. We appreciate you guys.
Although it's great that they're here and everything, don't get me wrong, but Big Brain Girl finally broke the drought of the points being used to destroy our party.
Oh, that was cool as
yes,
shit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was magnificent.
We got two extra encounters today that we were not expecting or slightly ready for. So, points being used to destroy, who would do that? Oh, I wonder. Just about everybody who sees that's an option.
Yeah, because I actually, if you guys use, I actually don't normally do a lot of random encounters. I don't roll for them. Any random encounters I do aren't random; they're scripted. So the only randomness they really get in combat is when you guys use those. So I think it's interesting. I thought it was really cool. I kind of riffed that orc encounter off the top of my head, and the same with the bandits. But I will say, for me, the coolest moment of the session wasn't even expected, but it was just when you destroyed as Gerard, that enemy with your shield just completely fucking eviscerating him. That was badass as shit.
I'm just saying, your old shield never did that. Maybe Togrig's shield a little bit better than the one you've had for a while.
Don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me like that.
Maybe
I don't want to hear that from you. I don't want to hear that.
I don't know, man.
I don't even want to hear that from you.
That other shield might be getting old, man. Might be time for an upgrade.
I mean, it's getting an upgrade. That's the whole point. There's an upgrade.
Let's see. We've got a question from Halo in the chat.
Yeah, yep.
James, what is your favorite part about role-playing Gerard? And then what is the hardest part about role-playing Gerard?
Okay, so some of the guys in the group would say that we all have our individual niche, and before this it was the Woods Boys for me, and now it's becoming the Paladin, and I don't know, I like playing the good guy. I like that. I like playing the guy that's usually aligned with what he's doing is correct, although my DM has currently put a lot of forks in the road for me. Made it seem a little edgy, but I feel like with some of the choices that he makes, I can definitely relate to. Yeah. So I don't know. I think he's a lot of fun to play. I think he kind of syncs up with who I am a little bit, and at some points, and some of the choices that I have to make, and I find that to be fun. Although it gets a little too close, a little too personal. It's just like why do you have to do that?
What's the hardest part about playing him?
The hardest part about playing him is that emotional connection between him and Gregor. That no matter what's going on, that's got to be my reason for doing things. And it's just like, I can understand because I can see myself as a person being that way whenever I get caught up on one thing. I kind of...
So why don't you explain a little bit about Gerard's relationship with Gregor? And you might have to explain a bit about Gregor too. While we know who Gregor is, because he is a former PC, and he's a very big NPC in this world, he's really been missing from this campaign from session 1, and he's never appeared on stream.
Well, I don't think that I could really take the forefront for explaining Gregor. Gunfire could do that, but I could explain a little bit about our relationship.
That'll work, because it was Gunfire's character, so why don't you explain your relationship with Gregor, and then we'll let Gunfire explain a little bit about Gregor.
Well, if you remember in my backstory, originally I was being trained by the ex-paladin Jonah Hark, but the way I was as a young boy, a little more aggressive, and it just didn't work out for his knowledge method, his meditation method, whereas he shipped me off to Gregor at a young age. I think it was like 11. I don't remember. I think it was like 11. 11 years old was when I got sent up there. And Gregor trained me, through all of the ranks that I made it through the Old Sworn myself, teaching me to implement his way of fighting with a typical two-handed weapon, and implementing a little bit of Jonah's weapon tactics with using the shield. And over time, the weapons that I had learned to fight with, me and Gregor had taken the time to forge together. He basically raised me like his child, and one of the last things I heard from Gregor was basically that he was my father. Not physically my father, but, he raised me as he was my father. Like nobody else did.
But he's your daddy.
Exactly. Right. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's just like searching for that lost daddy I never had. You know. So I don't know. It's a real connection. So I just want to make sure that I stick to that, because if that were a situation for me, I'd do the same exact thing. So no matter what I had to do, just keep hope. So that's what my paladin's gonna do.
Absolutely. Come hell or high water, literally, huh?
Correct. Literally.
Just a little bit about Gregor in Eredar. He is, I guess, if you consider it from Gerard's point of view, but was the commander of the Oathsworn Paladins in the Free Marches. But Ozzy, if you have any questions, sorry. He did take Gerard under his wing because Gerard was a very angry kid, and the monastery monk type way wasn't working for him. And for a long time, people thought he was going to hurt people. So Gregor never really taken apprentices before that. He was kind of he was a leader of people, but not in the personal sense. He pushed people to be the best that they could, and shouldered a lot of the burden on himself, as a commander does, right? That's how he got to where he is today. Or, well, prior to being in hell, that's how he got to where he was today.
Depends on if you think he's alive or not.
Yeah, that's true. Depends on if you think he's alive or not. And in that mentorship, it did develop into a father-son bond. In fact, Gregor's original weapon, which was damaged a long time ago before he picked up the weapon of the commanders, given to the first commander by Zenides, the Archangel, he forged those shards of the blade into Gerard's shield, which is why it was such an emotional moment last session when that was destroyed. Where the last piece of Gregor left in Eredar was destroyed right in front of his eyes. So it really kind of hammered in that he's not around in any way, shape, or form at the moment, which is why Gerard's going through it right now. So let's see. We have a question from Ozzy here. Let's see. What do you look forward to in the campaign to come, character growth-wise? In the campaign to come, is that question directed at the DM, which would be me at the time, or the characters themselves? Because I have a whole lot of fun curves I want to throw at them. But
or are you talking to Gerard?
Yeah, I can specify that for us if you could, Ozzy.
While Ozzy's specifying, we had another question that got skipped over about what the explanation with Gerard from Halo for Gerard. That's great that you connect to your character. You like playing good characters. Have you ever considered playing an evil character?
Yeah, we sure tried playing an evil character, and it was he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy for all the right reasons, and I don't think he's such a bad guy.
Would you mind reminding me of who that character was again?
I don't even know. Was he around during the time of Yoru? The Warforged ninja?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was no success in playing a bad guy. I don't know if I could do it.
You want to see James play a very bad villain? Yeah, I think he has the capacity for it for sure. I think it would take the right kind of motivation, and I honestly feel like Gerard could be that character depending on how certain things play out.
That was something I was going to touch on with Ozzy's question, if that was closer to about being Gerard.
You guys can both answer it since we didn't get some clarification.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm saying about the DM gave me a huge fork in the road here currently. So there's either way that it could be like a vendetta quest. This is all I worry about. No matter what happens to anybody, I'm going to make sure that I can take care of Gregor. Or I could split the way where, I use the help of my friends to be a crutch, as the way as most people would. You have people there that are helpful to help get you along. And it kind of depends on how these dreams keep going. So I just want to see the resolution of whatever happens with Gregor one way or the other, whether it's something that's positive for Gerard or something that's negative for Gerard. Either way, it's just a hill I'm going to have to get over. It's just another obstacle we'll figure that out.
Let's see.
You know.
He had a question for you about the upcoming game. Unfortunately, with real life being what it is, James Rowe won't be able to join us in the upcoming game on Wednesdays. In that we will have Halo, we will have Zoltar, we will have Cheek Clapper. I'm sorry, that's his Discord name. If you're in the
That's his
Discord,
name on here.
you'll get
It's
that.
Sergeant Sheet Clapper on
Yeah,
here as well.
okay, alright, just making sure. Sergeant Cheek Clapper. God bless, I can't believe we let that name get through.
I thought it was funny. I let it pass.
Yep, and a new face who goes by the name of Pagan Gamer. So he'll be joining us for the first time here, which will be pretty cool. It's someone I believe Zoltar has played with before, though.
Yeah, he's actually the one that taught me how to play D&D and how to DM. Maybe, God, I think 11 years ago at this point. I haven't gotten to play with him since like 2014, but I'm pretty pumped with it. So.
Right, hoping for the best for the group, but you're going to be using your points for the worst. Okay, if you're going to be using your points for the worst, Tirazi, I want you to do something. I want you to save up 10,000 gold dragons and use divine intervention in a scenario where it would bone the party. Okay? I want you to save up the big boy points and go all out for it, and I'll make it worth your time. Okay?
I think there's a lot of clever things you can do with that. I really liked what Epic did in the middle of that boss fight where he was like some more bad guys and then he gave everybody disadvantage on a spell, and I was like, that's fucking cancerous. There's some really interesting things you can do with that.
And yes, absolutely, you can use divine intervention one way or the other. It is DM discretion, but knowing you, I'll pretty much assume it's meant to damage the party, so save her with the Wednesday game.
Yeah, we tried to make those, when I put them on there, I tried to make them as open-ended as possible so that we could do different things with them as it fits. Like, for instance, the first time that somebody used a random encounter today, it was a standard random encounter. And then the second time I did it a bit differently since we were in town and somebody got robbed, which led into a side alley. So, you know, there's different things we can do. It might not always be exactly how you picture it, but it really helps, especially with the improv. It makes things interesting. So we like it, and it allows you guys to interact a bit with the game.
Alright, so you're saving up. That'll be quite a few hours watched, so more power to you. Go for it. Alright, then do we have any last minute questions here before we end? I think we're trying to cut this off at around 10:55 here Central Time, so that'll be in about 2 minutes here.
All right. Well, if we don't have any, just like last week, I'm going to go ahead and start a raid. If you're trying to get some extra points, you can jump in on that raid in order to get some. We're just going to raid one of our a D&D stream, support some smaller streamers around our level. So let's go ahead and raid one, and I'll set that up. We love having you guys around, and we're excited to see you guys. Remember, we'll be on next Monday at 7:30 for episode 28 of Fall of Illidion. If you didn't catch everything, we'll be putting it on our YouTube channel tomorrow. Links down below. If you haven't yet, make sure you go ahead and you follow us on Twitter. You know, we're on there all the time, posting new and different content and giving updates about our games. We love it. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start the raid. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll see you next Monday.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and thanks, Gerard, for sticking around to answer some questions. Appreciate it. Night, everybody.
Night.